It's the Guns and Radio podcast.
Yeah.
Back at you again with another episode.
Another
And
stacked episode.
we do. We've got two guests. One, I think we're going to save as a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you about it. But, of course, Anastasia Elliot is coming up. If you're familiar with her music. If you're not, you will be after this episode. And I have a feeling you're gonna be very familiar with it by the end of today. Because it is, she does some amazing work, and we had a great interview. She is hilarious. She got our humor.
Yeah,
that is something
She's one of us.
That's something that's hard to find in a guest, is somebody that understands our bullshit. So
yeah,
we're gonna definitely have a good conversation there. Before we get started, we do want to say a little something in memorial, or what's the word I'm looking? In memorandum.
Yeah, in memory of the late great Iron Sheik.
Yeah,
we've
talked.
Away, by the time this airs, it'll be about almost a week ago. So
yeah, very sad times. We've talked so much about Iron Sheik and doing our impersonations of him, and we've had a lot of fun talking about the character of the Iron Sheik. And you sent me a video of him choking a turkey.
Yeah, because I got like all these wrestling like Instagram things where like posting all these rare videos. That was like a rare outtake from when they were doing like backstage interviews.
Yeah,
doing something with the turkey.
And then the cage almost falls over. Now, here's the thing I saw in that. When the cage almost falls over and he catches it real quick, like he breaks character to save the bird, that shows you something, because a lot of guys would have just let it fall and would have kept cutting their promo.
Yeah.
But that shows you he had to have been a good dude.
Oh, he was, man. You got to respect the guy. The guy came from, Iran and made it big in the States.
Yeah.
Like, from a war-torn country to, sort of brighter pastures. Listen, he was a former WWF champion. If he didn't put over Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania would never happen. So
that's right.
So I think there was a story of like, was it Vern Gagne or someone from the AWA was like, I will pay you like 10 grand or something to break Hogan's fucking legs.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
I remember that, yeah. And he didn't do it. So you know what?
He either didn't do it. I think he probably smartened him up.
Yeah.
And then took the money.
Yeah.
That's what we do in wrestling. When somebody would tell us to hurt somebody for real, we would smarten that person up. We would take the money and then tell them to keep selling when they got backstage.
Yeah.
And then we'd split the money with them. But yeah, anyway, we want to say something there right off the beginning of the show, but we're not going to dwell on that because it really does make us both very sad. And we've got too good of a show today to be sad anymore, because like I said, we got Anastasia Elliot. We've actually got some GNR news to talk about, some very meaty GNR news that we can't wait to get in. Plus, we're going to play a game today that something we haven't done in a while, kind of like the third of a trilogy of games that we've played on here.
Yeah, damn right.
So there's a little teaser for you. But with that, what say you, Chris? Shall we actually start the show now? Should we get into it?
Let's hit this intro and get this stacked episode of Guns and Radio going.
Here we go. Welcome back to the Guns and Radio podcast, and once again, it's the sounds of summer. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. We remember this from last time. Where's the thing? There we go. We have like 5 sound effects, and then I forget that they're there. Ladies and gentlemen, Anastasia Elliot. Everybody give a round of applause.
Hello.
And I guess I could do this too. There, we go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I forgot about that too.
It's even better. We're off to such a great start. I'm already forgetting shit.
I learned the other day that clapping in sign language is this, and I was watching an interpreter, and now I'm like, I want everyone in my audience to clap like this, just silent, just give me these.
Woo. I knew that because I had a friend of mine that was deaf when I was in school, when I was in like grade school. And he didn't do like this. He just did this. And so, yeah. So that became a thing. We'd be like, "Oh, here comes Dwayne," or no, his name was Dudley. Here comes Dudley. Hey. You've got an album coming up pretty soon. Part of that album is your latest music video, Bonez, which we're going to watch here in just a few seconds. But you were telling me something really interesting before we got started about the album is visual, and you're making a music video for every song. Yes. And is it going to stitch together like a movie? Will this watch like a film when you're finished?
The album is called La Petite Mort, which means the little death, a brief loss of consciousness, or orgasm. And the album explores all of these themes. And there's a video for every song, and they do stitch together, but it's kind of an abstract story because it was really important to me that if someone like found me on the 5th single or the 8th single, like they were never going to be like lost in like what's happening in the story. So there's Easter eggs and things hidden in each of the videos that like you can go find and kind of like figure out what the order is or like what the true meaning is. I kind of designed it to have like kind of like 4 ways that you could interpret the story from beginning to end. So
okay, so it's not quite R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet then, where if we come in chapter 15, there's a guy with a gun and a little person.
I kind of wanted it to feel like how, I mean, we'll get into what the album's inspired by, but I kind of wanted it to feel like trauma healing and the phases of trauma healing and how it's not necessarily a linear process and it's something that can kind of like bounce around and be rearranged. And so it's not super linear.
Okay. Do you have a release date that you're ready to talk about for the album, or should we just say coming soon?
Coming soon, very soon.
Coming soon, but you can find links in the description of this podcast to get to Anastasia's YouTube channel. And
I hope to have a late date for you by the end of this week.
Oh.
So you might have one by the time this comes out.
Oh, well, I will update the description if that is the case, certainly. And I'm going to tell you guys, in doing research to have Anastasia on, we booked her almost a month ago, and I was doing some research. You are a rabbit hole when it comes to YouTube. Like your the Bonez music video, if you play it and let it just, and then you like walk away for a second, you let it just play the next one. It's like, God damn, there's so many good songs. And then it's like there's a podcast on top of that, and there's just so much to content to be to check out. So we do recommend checking out her YouTube channel. But before we get into the music video, I got to ask this. You survived, miraculously maybe, a plane crash.
Yes. I say I manifested the plane crash because I wrote the song Crash Landing, which is one of the first songs on the album. I wrote that song, and when I was writing it, I didn't really know what I was writing about because I have kind of a different writing style where I don't really start with like a concept most of the time. I kind of just like flow with whatever like the sound is making me see and feel. And I just started writing this song about a crash landing, and I loved it. And I felt like it was one of the first songs where I was like, yeah, this is like the direction I want to go. And then I was in a plane crash landing 3 months later. So I think in a lot of my work, I think my art has come first and like manifested experiences in my life. I think like speaking something into the universe and then putting like real creative power into it, I've definitely learned that it's a powerful thing. So yes, it was a Southwest plane in 2013. I was 18, and it definitely
was Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm like 20 times less surprised right now, but
yeah, I am too after learning a lot more. But it was a Southwest plane, and it was pilot error. She crushed the landing gear into the plane, so she took over way too late and from the co-captain who was flying, and instead of touching down and going back up like she should have, she basically, like, you're supposed to land back wheels to front wheels, and she came in too hard and crushed the front wheels into the plane. So we like came in and we were very, very shaky and like hit and then slid 2,000 feet and caught on fire. And if we'd been 1 foot to the left, we would have cartwheeled and exploded. So we were incredibly lucky. And then we were trapped on that plane for like 20-30 minutes while it was filling with smoke and with very little direction or communication from the pilots or the flight attendants were crying and in total panic. I think the pilots were very silent because they knew it was their fault. And at that point, it was a federal investigation. And so it was very much like we were kind of alone, and we wound up putting the slide down, and I've got to go on an airplane slide. I have that cool experience.
I don't know if that's a cool experience, man. That's a cool experience. Like jumping out of a burning building onto the firefighter trampoline is a cool experience.
So I think like now when I fly and there's like safety demonstrations and they talk about stuff, I'm just like, y'all aren't gonna do that. That's not how it's gonna go. Every man for themselves. And I really learned that. Yeah, it was very interesting how they handled stuff, and like they wanted everyone to leave their purses and all their belongings on the plane, and not because they were like, it's all a part of the investigation. And I was like, screw that. And I took my purse and my wallet and my phone, and a lot of people didn't. And then they were stuck with no money, no way to communicate. And it was a disaster. It was a disaster.
Oh, wow. Was anybody killed or anything?
No, we didn't have any deaths. There were like some injuries, just people that, had gotten thrown around more than others, depending on where they were on the plane. Like it was, I mean, I don't think anyone felt particularly great though. Like the whiplash that I experienced, it's like 10 times more than that of a car. Like the force, like I had nerve pain down my back and arms for months. That, I mean, it was rough. But
so in that 20 minutes where the plane's like filling up with smoke and you're sitting there, like, what are you doing? Like, how do you keep your composure at that moment?
I definitely learned a lot about myself and how I respond in crisis. My first reaction was I texted my mom because they were randomly visiting me in New York when this happened. So like my family was in New York, which they never were. And I used to travel, basically like split my months between Nashville and New York. And so I texted my mom, and I was just like, I didn't want to freak her out. And so I was just like, hey mom, we kind of crashed a little bit. And she was like, thought I was joking and was like, haha, funny. And I was like, no, like the plane is filling with smoke and they're not doing anything and they're not letting us off. And then she said it like came on the news. And so I was like, my first instinct was to text my mom. But then like, I think a lot of it for me was just trying to figure out how to like take control and help. And I definitely learned that in situations like that, I'm very able to like disassociate from my emotions, because I was the one kind of yelling at the flight attendants because I was like very close to the front. And I was just like, they were like, everybody sit down. We're not at the gate yet, like in total panic. And I was just like, we're not going to the gate. Like we crashed, look out the window, like what do we do now? And then me and this other passenger wound up going to the bathroom and like getting wet cloths for people to put over their noses and mouths because the smoke was pretty bad. And even like when they took us to the buses, like afterwards they put us on buses for like an hour and a half, and I was like the one asking for water because we just inhaled all the smoke and there was no water. And then when they took us to the conference rooms for another 6 hours, like I was talking to the police and giving them my like credit card to be like, go buy blankets and Advil. They like didn't have anything for people. So like I kind of, instead of like being in the feelings and like being 18 and being like, oh my God, like someone's supposed to take care of me right now, like, and fix this. Like I definitely was more in the like, I'm going to try to take charge and like do something. And at that time, like I grew up in a family that was not very emotionally intelligent. Like I didn't really grow up talking about feelings at all or anything like that. And so I didn't really have much vocabulary or like ability to even process what was going on. And like it's really what started my mental health journey as well. Cause like I went through something that was so big and like life-changing that if I didn't find ways to process it, like I just was having like tunnel vision anxiety attacks that I was telling nobody about. And I would just like run to the bathroom and be like, all right, you're fine. You're fucking fine. Like, you're good.
That is incredible.
So
have you had any flashbacks or nightmares or anything from that experience, or has it pretty much affected you positively?
I mean, flying is not a pleasant experience. I had actually 3 flights in a row. Like after that, they were kind of a nightmare, but I still fly. I think for me, I don't really have like flashbacks in that kind of sense, because I think I was very, very intentional about integrating it into my life and processing it and not like pushing it away. I think maybe sometimes that stuff happens more when you don't integrate it into who you are. But I mean, the past 10 years of making this album was like an immersion therapy of type. I mean, it's all about trauma, the healing. And like, I bought a row of Southwest plane seats and I like immersed myself in airplane culture constantly, just like trying to understand what it did to me. But I think it made me a better artist. It made me a better person. And this album has been through so many different traumatic things that I think I've learned more than anything that like the dark, crazy shit that happens to you can be the thing that you harness into like the most unique and coolest art you can possibly make if you just like don't run from it and spend time with it and be with it as hard as it is.
And it's incredible that after all of that, your main concern was the other people on the plane. And that shows your true character in that kind of situation. So
yeah, aren't we glad we didn't find out I was a selfish bitch?
You didn't find out you were like me.
Pushing babies and kids out of the way. Like,
yeah, get that baby out of my way. You use that baby as a flotation device.
The poor lady that was right next to me, it was her very first flight she had ever taken.
Oh, no.
I guess probably the last. She was freaking out, screaming.
She took the bus home.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's
It was crazy, though, because there were some people that were filming from inside the plane, like, while we were landing. And so, like, in the months after the plane crashed, like, even still, like I can put those videos on and like hear the noise of it. And it's like, that's the thing that can like transport me into it the most. And like early on, that was like incredibly triggering for me, but like I would do it. I would like watch it and I would like put myself there like a weird tormented artist that I am.
Did you know that if you immersed yourself in those videos and you caused yourself to be triggered, that it would have a lessening effect over time? And would help you to heal from that?
I don't know that I consciously knew. I just think that it felt like what I was supposed to do. I think I was just so I love learning and I'm somebody that's always trying to like uncover more layers of things. And to me it was like just exploring something really unknown.
So was there any kind of legal repercussions or anything that took place after the flight?
I wish. They paid for my therapy and my acupuncture for my nerve pain for like a couple months. And then they paid for my sweater got stolen off the plane. So they paid like a quarter of what my sweater was worth.
Oh, wow.
And then they gave me 2 free flights, which I did not want to use for a long time. And on the 1-year anniversary of the plane crash, I actually was like, you know what? I'm going to take a trip for myself. I'm just going to like do this. And I tried to use them and they had expired. So I called customer service and I was like, hey, like this is the situation. I'm actually finally ready to use these flights. Like, I think I want to treat myself for the 1-year anniversary experience.
Whoa, a year? They expired in a year? Well, we almost fucking killed you. So here's 2 free flights, but you got to use them in a
year.
And she told me, she was like, oh, interesting. They didn't give you blah, blah, blah ticket, which is apparently another ticket they have that doesn't expire. And I was like, what do you have to do to get that? Does people have to die? Like what has to happen to get that fucking ticket? They told me that I could pay $100 per ticket to use them. And I was like, fuck you. I'm never flying your airline again.
So you should pay me $100 to fly on your plane.
I know. God damn.
More than that.
Yeah.
You know, the best flight I ever had was awful anyway.
I definitely learned a lot after the plane crash, just like I wound up randomly meeting people that like worked at Southwest and like knew about the crash or about her. And she was apparently like number 2 on Southwest's cruise, like no fly list, which is basically like people that other captains and flight attendants don't want to fly with. And I was like, shouldn't they take the top like 50 of those people and either like fire them or give them more training depending on what their problem is? Like, she apparently was very known for anger issues and like being kind of like a reckless kind of hothead person. And who knows? But I say in the Bonez music video, the teeth that I'm wearing and the spine on my chair is hers.
Oh, wow. Well, we're going to watch that music video here in just a moment. But before we do, we're going to have a moment. We're going to have a little message from our sponsors, Southwest Airlines.
I wish.
Come fly with Southwest, where we always stick the landing.
Yeah.
All right.
Or drag you off before you land.
It's like 345s. If you see 345s all over my work, and I still to this day have never flown another 345 flight, but I know at some point it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be like, no, this is not the flight for me.
Wow. Well, I hope that's not anytime soon.
Yeah.
But let's take a look at the music video, because I really didn't think I didn't think this was gonna be such a rabbit hole. So that's
we've just scratched the surface.
I know, right? And we're already almost halfway in. So let's take a look at the music video, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening on Pandora, where I know most of you are, I tell you every week, go over to Spotify so you can see the video version. And if you want to see the music video without us talking all through it, then you'll just have to go over to Anastasia's YouTube channel, and you'll find it over there, link in the description. But with that, here's Bonez. See, there it is, right off the bat. I heard it just now.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you pull off that shot? Is that CGI?
The very beginning is a 3D rendering that we made, and then it's mixed in with the drone footage from over the set.
So you made this costume and everything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the video was shot at this really, really amazing private museum here in Tennessee called Wings Remembered, and it's they're actually crashed planes from World War II, and this man basically brings these planes over and then tries to reconnect family members of the people who died in these planes with their planes. So we wound up taking over his place and bringing all these extra props and making all this cool stuff to build this set. And the piano that's in this is actually, there's another music video of mine, The Boy Who Cried Love, where this piano shows up the first time. It's the ribcage piano, and it's more pristine in that video, but this is after a while in my storage unit. It's a little bit disheveled now, and she will make another appearance in one of the last music videos.
All right, well, let's track this for a second. Do you write all your own lyrics?
Yeah, I love co-writing. There's some songs on the record that were 100% me, but I really love co-writing and putting like other writers that are amazing with me to get what I'm trying to go for. So this song was co-written with 2 other awesome writers.
The funny thing, Chris, I saw a behind-the-scenes video on this earlier. The guy that's tied up, he didn't know that this was going on. He's just he was there when they got there.
We had to keep it real so that he really acted well, because some of the actors here, they don't cut it sometimes.
So how long do you have to, when you got the backup dancers and things like that, how long did you guys have to practice that?
This one was definitely probably a month of choreography practice, but less for them and more for me, because the guy that's dancing closer to me, he's the choreographer, and I'm not really a dancer. Like, I can follow choreography and I can dance, but I'm not like a dancer by trades. But I wanted a dance choreography video, so it took me longer than anyone to learn it. But
oh wow, that's odd, because you'd think the dudes would have more problems there.
Oh no, they're professionals.
So what did you do? Just put an ad out, need some dancers, must be sexy.
Yes.
How do you word that? Because you don't want a guy like me showing up here for this shoot. So
no, Depends on the actor I'm looking for, but you kind of like, usually like dancers, like they kind of have like this physique and this build. So it's more just like picking, you get sent like a ton of people and you just kind of pick the ones that are.
So it's implied that you need to be in shape. So
Yeah.
like, did you have a guy show up like Chris Farley in that SNL sketch with Patrick
No,
Swayze?
definitely not. But I wish that would have made it a lot more interesting.
I could have seen that in the video in the background. That would have
Mhm.
been great. Maybe
Yeah.
one of our people that's in our Discord that's really good with CGI. Maybe you can put that Chris Farley guy in
That
here
would be
for us.
amazing.
Yeah. So you say you made the costumes and everything, which I see the bones. Now I've got a question about here toward the end because this one kind of caught me off guard. But I want to go back just a little bit so we can see your costume. That's in the main story here of the song. So you made this. What is this
Mhm.
that you're wearing? Is this glued on? Because this looks like glue.
All right. So head to toe, the top, the crown is a fish jaw. It's a real fish jaw. And then I actually probably got flagged on plenty of like FBI websites because I was really searching for human bones. And I found some, but they were very expensive. So we wound up going with animal bones to build the front piece, the spine, and the ribs. And there are some human bones on me, though. I was determined. So my knuckles are full of human teeth. And
Oh wow.
the top is it's actually tape, so it's like a ton of reflective tape that's cut and just stuck. And then the
Oh.
skirt is made out of an airline seatbelt and a parachute. I wanted everything that this character wore to basically be, she's this cannibal queen and she's a siren, so she draws these planes down to her, and it's kind of like representative of that phase of trauma when you're just like angry at everything and you're like, trying to understand things. And so she crashes these planes. So all of the bones everywhere are basically like the victims. And so I wanted everything in her costume to be something that she could have made from the bodies or their luggage. So even the like using the parachute and the seatbelt is like, even the sewing techniques that we used were a bit rustic and just using like wires and stuff to like fasten things so that it wasn't too pristine. And the other outfit that's in the piano scene, there's pilot wing pins in my hair. The cape neck is actually the video that for Crash Landing where I'm wearing the space outfit. The neck piece in this is the bottom piece to the Russian space helmet that we wound up using in Crash Landing. And then the cape is made from the clothes that she would have found in all of the passengers' luggage. And then the latex looking like skirt and top is supposed to be human skin.
Okay.
So these are all the costume elements that we.
So do you have like a warehouse of props that you call back to
My house is
constantly?
pretty much a warehouse of props at this point.
Okay.
Like I own so many mannequins and props, and it's been fun to recycle them for everything and kind of see where I can keep using them. And then I have like bins for each video that have all the different costumes that are labeled for different things.
Okay. That's really interesting. So everything kind of does go with a reference with the story.
Everything. I'm so detail oriented, it hurts. It's annoying.
Right on. Down to the hairpins.
Oh yeah. It's I've got like a team of like lots of ADHD, OCD, like neurodivergent crazies that like everything is so detail oriented.
I know what you mean because I too have some degree of ADHD, and I can be working on the cover art for an episode that I know is going to be like that big when everybody sees it, and there'll be a tiny little detail that nobody is going to notice, and I've had to learn to tell myself it's good to fuck enough. Nobody's going to notice this.
Yeah,
like,
I'm still getting to that place. I spend a lot of time on a lot of things, but I don't know. I think that's what makes these videos special is it's, I think you watch these and think that they're like crazy expensive, but it's really not. It's us crafting for months and like having a serious plan that we want to execute, and just a lot of time and energy.
Now this part looks painful.
It was. I had bruises on my arms for weeks just for how many times they had to like lift me up.
I would have never let that happen. Do you don't remember when you're little and a grown up will pick you up under your arms and everything? It hurts.
It did hurt. I kind of say that like if I haven't gone through some amount of pain for a music video, I didn't push the idea far enough. Like every music video has some like extreme weird pain story that goes with it.
So my next question is about the reflective tape that you're wearing. What was the temperature like in this place, and how come, or did you have like 900 pieces that you just had to keep sticking back on? Like, what's keeping it from falling off?
Nothing ever fell off. Nothing fell off. Just really strong tape.
Because it looks like a humid area based on the.
It definitely was. It was definitely humid, but it stayed. It stayed.
How long
I don't
was
sweat
the shoot?
that much, so maybe
No,
I didn't. I'm not a big sweater, but maybe I don't know. It never came off. The shoot, we actually accidentally shot on the shortest night of the year. It was summer solstice. And so we only, I think, had 8 hours to do the entire video. And there's some shots near the end where like it was starting to get, like the sun was just starting to peak up. And we were like, shit, we got to get these last couple shots or we're screwed. Like there's no faking that.
Oh, yeah. Because would the guy come and take the plane away the next day?
No, this is at his museum, so they
Oh,
stay.
okay. I thought he brought them to you, is the way I understood that.
No, this is at his place.
Is this a dresser in the background here? Behind the dude that's on his knees?
No, that's just the back of the plane.
Okay. Looks like my dresser in my bedroom. That's why I'm asking. Okay, well, now I want to ask you about this part, because I've shown this to a few people, because it's really an impressive song. I'm not going to lie.
Thank you.
So I've shown this to a few people, and this is the part that gets everybody's attention. Now, is that a pterodactyl, or what are we doing here?
God, I wish I could remember.
You did not make that sound, right?
No, I actually refuse to scream. I'm an opera singer, and I'm so protective of my voice. And I mean, another story that's definitely wrapped up in this album, right after I finished recording it, I had vocal surgery and I had to be silent for 75 days, completely silent. And so I do not scream. And
what was that like?
Wild. I mean, you were talking about sign language earlier. I'm the queen of charades because I basically communicated by charading for a third of the year.
Oh, wow. 75 days you couldn't say shit.
No sneezing, coughing, mouthing words, completely mouth shut, silent.
What if you did have to cough, though?
You just try really hard not to, but I'm really good at suppressing them now because basically, like, anything like that just causes, like, more pressure and, like, yeah.
75 days.
Yeah. It wasn't because of singing either. I had an allergic reaction to the spice thyme and that aggravated a blood vessel. And then I talked on hoarse voice and it wouldn't go down. And then there was no sound when I would sing really high, which is like my thing. So it wasn't going to fly.
I thought you were going to say to the human skin you were wearing.
Right. But that scream, I'm pretty sure we layered like a bunch of different screamy sounds to get, like, I wanted like a non-human type scream.
So what is the significance of that scene then in the song?
That man is the only one that doesn't die in the videos. A man dies in every video and he escapes, and so at the end she's sending her little henchman to go and find him, which then will tie into the next video.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to that. When's the next video coming out? You got to give me a scoop here.
Well, I'm currently in the hopefully soon edit process. I have kind of a shitty situation with my footage and someone that worked on it, and we've been working on getting that back. So we'll be editing them soon, and then
that's a legal situation.
Yeah, that's kind of what pushed the album a little bit, just because I wanted to have the videos to back it up. So I have 3 that are in the edit process right now, hopefully soon, and then 4 that I'm about to film.
Do you send them away to be edited, or do you do that yourself?
I edit them. I love editing. It's honestly my favorite part of it because I love puzzles, and I feel like it's like putting together the ultimate puzzle. And
It really is.
when I direct videos, like I have a very in-depth process where I storyboard everything and have like intense like visual documents, but then I also do like a pre-edit where I edit the entire video and what I want to see, but with text. And then I make shot sheets to be like, okay, we're going to get these angles. These are going to go here. So then for me, like at the end, just editing is like dropping the shots I got into my storyboard.
Do you keep all that stuff when you're done with it?
I do. And I definitely will be releasing it.
I was
on the
about to say
YouTube.
that would make some good bonus content for
Yeah, there is
like
more bonus content for this album than you could believe. I literally filmed all 17 days of recording, like all the making of these costumes, like it's all on film. So I'm like currently in the process of editing it down. It's overwhelming, honestly, but editing it into things to show. And I think I'm gonna do breakdown videos of like how I storyboard a video and like what my process is making these videos.
That's interesting. It's always interesting to hear other people's process because I think ours is more chaotic. We just do the shit and then figure it out later.
Well, I think with this
Yeah.
video, like with these kinds of videos that like look incredibly high budget and are like high art, like if there's not an insane amount of planning, like almost to a fault, like trying to do things on a budget with like a lot of donated time and people volunteering, like it needs to run efficiently and be very,
Almost like a machine.
machine, yeah, so that everybody
Yeah.
like, we don't have that many hands or that much help. So if things are not, really orderly, it's a mess. And I also hate overshooting. Like I have learned from working with other directors that a lot of people overshoot or they like don't have enough of a idea of what they want the edit to be beforehand, and then it just makes the days longer. So with volunteered time, I try to make things like, my shoots are intensive. Like it's everybody's leaving like in some amount of pain for like how hard they worked. So I just try to make it as clean as possible.
Yeah, that's which is understandable too. But it's also good to have stuff like that B-roll where you're playing the piano and stuff like that you can sort of put in anywhere,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, you gotta have
it'll
those.
make sense. Yeah, B-rolls are a lifesaver. So in the past, I've heard you say on other shows and stuff that you have a team of people that have worked to ensure the success of this project. How many people do you work with on a regular basis?
It's very like homespun, a lot of friends, and one of my main collaborators is my mother. She makes a lot of the costumes and art direction and stuff, and we're very family business oriented. And then one of my great friends, Lacey Wooten, who's been with me for my basically whole career now, she makes a lot of the costumes and builds sets, and we kind of all do everything. So they're kind of 2 that have been through everything, and then this friend Morgan comes and fills in, and then we usually bring in different cinematographers based on the look we're going for. And some of the videos have like a gaffer, but it's pretty much that small. And then you've got like your random people that volunteer and just help out depending on the video.
Well, that's really cool though that you was able to build that kind of a small community it takes to get that out there. How much success have you seen? Are you surprised? Are you disappointed? Are you about what you estimated at?
It's a pretty loaded question there. I mean, when I started this project, I was signed to the president of Warner Brothers and had like the dream kind of label deal. And I wound up being caught in a regime change, and he went over to head Amazon Music, and I took everything and left and became independent. And I think for me, like my grand vision was always like to put this out and just it be everywhere, have marketing backing and like the support of a big company. And then after years of like trying to take it back to that and like build a team, kind of just decided to stay independent. And that's what's kind of made this project take a really long time to come out, as it's like, you know, as I've tried to find a home for it, knowing that like I don't have necessarily the marketing dollars to like put into it what it deserves. So I think I've really had to try to like separate from expectations around it and just like see each step and each thing I put out as growth and something new to show people. I think I really struggle with social media. I'm not the best at consistency, and I'm really, as the album's preparing to come out, like I'm building a very intensive calendar to be more better at showing things, because I think there's so much that I know about this project that people don't, because I didn't show them, but I assume they're going to know. And so it's been a lot of just like reframing, I think, like what I think needs to be shown, and like being like, oh yeah, they don't know this yet. Like they don't, a lot of people don't even know that it's an interconnected series. And so I'm kind of going back and doing some of the foundational work right now that I think I didn't really understand or know to do in the beginning. So I I think it's really easy as an independent artist to never feel like you're doing enough or getting the results that are enough, because we're in such a kind of virality and like vanity metrics chasing game. But as long as I'm getting messages from and comments from people saying that something impacted them or that, you know, it affected them, like that's kind of how I measure my success now. And like the reactions it shows. Like I've had to redefine what I think success is.
Do you tour or play any live shows?
Yeah, we play live a lot. COVID really fucked us like it did everyone, because we had just started touring right before that, and then we had to like stop the tour, and after COVID we have stayed pretty local in Nashville and built our community here, and now I've gotten to the point where we sell out venues here, which is really exciting. And now we're looking to branch out to other cities, so we're kind of taking a Nashville break, and we're booking a run to the East Coast for like end of summer, I think, and then playing a festival in North Carolina in September and building some shows around that. So I'm excited to start branching out and getting out of the area. But live is one of my favorite places, my favorite parts. Like there's nothing better than being on stage.
What's the music scene in Nashville like these days, especially for like your type of music? I would when I think of Nashville, I think of like Dolly Parton, uh, Alan Jackson.
There is a scene here. I have to say, like the musicians here are the nicest, most supportive, amazing people I've ever met. Like I have the most musician friends that genuinely want to see each other win and succeed, and you know, show up to help and like, you know, volunteer their time for things, and it's truly an amazing community. But that being said, as a music scene, I do not think it is a good music scene. I don't think that there's a lot of community support from like fans here. Like it's a lot of the shows here, like you're kind of playing for other musicians or people in the music industry, but like regular ass people don't really seem to go to shows here, like to the rock venues just music. Like even if they don't know the band, like Austin or New York, or you know, where you'll find just like people just go because they like the venue, or they're like, you know, like, oh, let's go check out this new band. That's kind of rare here. So it's a tough city, and there's a lot of like gatekeepers here. And I think for people like me who are left of center in like the rock pop world, it's there's not a lot of opportunity here, not a lot of support here, and we really hope to change that. Like I work hard to change that, and we host events now and kind of create the opportunities we wish we had. And I host writers retreats and networking events, and like just really trying to foster more of a community here. But it is,
Isn't it mostly like a bunch of retired people and stuff? Like
it's definitely a party city, but I think a lot of people go to like the country bars, and you know, it's still, I think, country, Americana, singer-songwriter, and like bedroom pop, or like Taylor Swift kind of pop. Like I think that does really well here. I think rock is tough. I think metal is tough, rap is tough. Like there's not a lot of that here, and a lot of like big bands or mid-tier bands that are touring, like they skip Nashville a lot, we notice, and they go to Louisville or Memphis and Atlanta, and they kind of like don't come here. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's something I scream about on every interview. I'm like, come on.
Well, that's what you got to do. I mean, here's what you do. You take your songs, which are amazing, by the way. We've got another one queued up in case we have time for it. But you take your songs, all right? You make like a Garth Brooks Boot Scoot and Boogie version of it.
Right?
And then you play that at the bar, and then you use that money to fund the real thing.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should do a little country album. I actually did a joke for April Fool's where I posted a photo of myself with brown hair from when I was like 14 years old. And I was like, I said something like, rock is dead, like we're switching to country, like my new album, like track. I was sitting on train tracks with sheet music, like such a stupid country cover. My new album, Tracks of Heartbreak or something like that, and it was hilarious to me how many people bought it. How many people were like, hell yeah, this is awesome, like can't wait for this. And I was like you guys actually want this to happen? Like that's just I even like hashtag brown cult, and I'm like, if that didn't give it away, like not the purple cult anymore, we're the brown cult. I'm like, oh my god, like how did you fall for this? There were for weeks, like there were some of my friends though that like better acquaintances that like saw me out at shows like the next week and were like, it's back purple, like it's purple. And I was like, they were like, we were kind of concerned about you. And I was like, it never wasn't. And I love being able to tell all the creeps that messaged me that they loved me with brown hair and like all that stuff. I love being able to tell them I was 14 years old, you creepo.
You got Chris Hansen and didn't even know it. There you go.
Yeah, it's my favorite April Fool's prank I've played.
All right, sir, I'm going to need you to go ahead and just take a seat over there. Well, so that's something else we should talk about is the purple cult, because we kind of talked about it a little bit before we went on the air. Is this because I asked you if this is a Prince reference, and you were telling me about colors that resonate with other artists. So let's talk about that. What you say the color purple has resonated with several artists, of course, Prince.
Yeah. I mean, when I went purple, I mean, I've been purple my whole career, honestly, whole life. Like my bedroom growing up was always purple. Like I've always gravitated to the color, and it was my color like before I really even knew a lot about Prince or like knew his color. And I think when I started like, because there's got to be extreme detail and meaning to everything, when I started researching purple and learning more about the color theory and the frequency and stuff, it made a lot of sense to me why myself and other like multi-passionate creators like Prince are drawn to the color. My name means resurrection, and purple is the color of the resurrection, and it's also the color of creativity, transformation, uniqueness, boldness, authenticity, magic. Like it's a color that it doesn't have its own, it sits on the spectrum very differently than other colors because it's between blue and red, so it doesn't have a spectrum like any other color. And it's a color that I think when you surround yourself with it, you're kind of drawing in that energy to you. And to me, it's like the pure energy of creativity. And I've always surrounded myself with that color. So when I decided I was going to call my community the Purple Cult and create a cult of creativity, to me, like I chose such a kind of polarizing and extreme word because actually only 20% of cults are bad, but a cult is something that like you are basically living your life in complete service of an ideal or a principle. And to me, like what better thing to dedicate your entire existence to than creativity and magic. And so my entire mission is to turn the mundane into the extraordinary and show people that you're meant to have a creative, awesome, fantastical life, and you should be around purple as much as you fucking can and bring it into your life.
Oh, that's a good answer. I wasn't expecting that, but that's a damn good answer.
Yeah. I think that's why, creative people can be drawn to it. It's a color that carries like the calmness of blue and the fierceness of red. I think it's something that like it's so encompassing of so many different emotions and special.
I'm going to play another song, and I wanted to have two queued up, but it was very hard to choose a second one at my leisure to
Is it a music
play
video?
here. Yes, it's going to be a music video. We're going to watch it here. And again, everybody, please feel free to go to Anastasia's YouTube, which is where I ripped it from, in glorious 360 quality.
Can't wait to see what you picked.
Should I just leave it as a surprise and let you see when it comes up?
Yes.
All right. So, and then maybe you can tell me why this resonates so well, because I absolutely and I really love this song. So we're gonna hit play on it right now. I'm gonna crank it down a little so it don't blow everybody's ears off. And here we go. Now, when you wrote this, how long ago was that?
All right, so this song, I'm actually glad you picked this one. I got a lot to say about this one. This song was not originally on the album, and when I left Warner, I was like, this song is missing. Like, I wanted this song to be on there, but I was like, this song is missing. And I named the album off of a lyric from the bridge of this song. And so I was like, I have to finish it. So I finished it and I put it first as kind of like the prologue to the album. And it's a special song. But this video was the first one that I completely did DIY and apart from the label. And it was kind of like a big moment for me to see that I could do this. Like, I could really do this myself. So this was a crazy video to make. It was actually 30 degrees or less in this house, and I couldn't feel my toes by the end of these shoot days. And literally, like, the footage from the shoot, like my hat was like doing this, and then I would have to like still my body and like calm down and get ready to sing. And obviously I'm not wearing a lot of clothes in a lot of these shots, so it was fucking cold. And like in some of the shots you could see like the steam from my breathing. I'm
gonna be honest, I haven't seen much of the video. I've listened to the song several times, but I haven't really seen much of the video. But now, after talking to you, I'm like questioning every little thing that I'm seeing. Like the dude with a knife in his chest that was in the bed a minute ago. And I'm wondering if there's something to do with the paint on the walls.
There's so much in this video.
So what's behind the faceless mannequin gentleman that we're seeing here?
So one of the ways that you can interpret the video series, at the end of this video, he hits me with a car, and it kind of sets the dream sequence or coma or fever dream or like life flashing before my eyes or like immortality, like all those different paths that you can take with the story. It like sets that up. And so this is technically like the only video that is supposed to be like set in whatever like the real world is. And I wanted kind of the real world to be not about him at all, not about like a man at all, and to keep the focus very much on me and my emotions, and kind of keep him faceless and anonymous and this person that I just kept murdering over and over and over, to show like the cyclical nature of a toxic relationship. And it kind of also stands for like when you're toxic and unhealthy yourself, like how you kind of, it doesn't really matter who you're with, like you're going to keep hurting and keep like doing that to whoever you're with. So this is kind of like the first character that is representing toxicity. Because, I mean, like, the Bonez cannibal queen, too. Like, she's incredibly toxic. She's eating all of the men. And, like, it's kind of like, it speaks to, like, when we're in places of trauma, we can become, like, the worst red flag version of people ourselves, even when we're just not trying to be, like, hurt people, that saying. So that's kind of why he's supposed to be here. The faceless man.
Wow. I'm gonna track this for a minute and give everybody kind of a taste. How did you pull off the shots with the fire in the house?
So we used, for some of the shots, we were actually seeing like me through the fire in the house. We used like these fire bars. Like that was one thing. We had a person that like was specialized in fire effects to come and do that, because we were filming in a historic home that was about to be basically made, like the next week construction was about to start on remodeling this old home. So this is the only video that like captures it in its like real state.
Oh wow.
So we had a fire person come, but the shots were like the fires on the floor and like eating the pages and stuff. We had almost like pallets that we had outside that we basically like faked the shot outside to look similar to what the floor would be like inside.
Yeah, but then you did a very good job, because in some of it you actually see you there, so it maintains that illusion.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah, this shot was probably the worst of them all because my hair was wet, and like I said, it was like 25, 30 degrees, and that was like hours of hell.
I can imagine. So when you got to the inside of the house, how did you light it up if there wasn't any power in the house?
Generator truck. Generators.
Oh, we know all about that.
Yeah, generator and natural lighting. It was kind of a mix of both, depending on the scene.
So you get creative even when it comes to shooting the film. Do you go? So how much of a plan on all of that stuff did you know when you got there? I mean, obviously you knew there probably wasn't going to be any power, so you were going to have to supply your own power and everything. How long did that shoot take?
That one was 2.5 days, I think.
Oh wow.
Oh no. Maybe two days. 2 days.
Okay.
But the second day we didn't have any lighting or help. It was just my ex fiance did this video with me. He did Bonez as well with me. He was a director, and where I learned a lot of my dangerous skills, but we did a lot of this stuff together. And so he was, it was a lot of our crew friends that were bringing their trucks and doing stuff for this. But the second day it was just me, him, and the cinematographer, and we didn't have lighting that day for all like the shots. So the first day was like the 3 main scenes, the stuff in the house and the dinner table, and then the fire at night.
You know, in my excitement to play this song, I forgot to tell everybody the name of the song is Cigarettes and Gasoline.
That's why there's lots of cigarettes and lots of gasoline.
Well, we've only got a couple of minutes with you left, and then we're going to have to go. But before we go, would you like to share some, as a female artist, would you like to share some of your favorite DMs with us?
I actually have a great story to tell you.
Okay.
So a couple of days ago, I received my first unsolicited dick video, which surprised at first. Well, I received one photo, I remember like a year ago, but like it's been a while. It doesn't happen as much as you would think it happens. But my friend Julie, who's my guitarist wife, she is an awesome songwriter, and we work together a lot. And she was telling me, like, she just started teaching voice lessons, and she was running this ad for her singing lessons, and she was getting so many dick pics and videos that she started making songs and posting like about these men, like using their pictures and making songs to them. But then she was like, I don't know, this could get scary. Like, you know, they know me and where, you know, if they find me. So she stopped doing that. But
I didn't think of that.
like, wow, I can't believe that you're getting this to your singing ads. I was like, I rarely get things like this.
Yeah, what's wrong with me? Why
like, where are my unsolicited dick pics? And so last
Am
week,
I not pretty enough?
I know, like, what the hell? And so last week I was like answering my Facebook messages, and I clicked on one, and I was not expecting it. I liditerally like yelped because I was like, what the fuck is this? Because it was just this video, and I didn't know what to say. And then the guy just kept like saying really inappropriate stuff, and I was like, he was, you know, do you like big dicks and stuff? And I was like, no, actually, I really like little ones. And I just kept like kind of like going at him. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this guy. I'm going to block him. So I block him. And then he makes another account to message me the same video again. And I was like, so not having it. And so I just sent him a dick video right back. And then he shut up. So
so you responded, you fought fire with fire in this situation.
I did.
Literally.
Just like, God, like, has this ever worked for anybody?
That's
like, ever?
what I say.
But honestly, like, the ones that get, like, the consistent ones that get me the most are the people that want pictures of my feet, the foot fetish people. And I actually have started to, I have put a price on my feet to be like, all right, if you will pay this price, I will absolutely send you my feet. Like, sure, you have at them.
Here's what we're going to do, okay? Because they don't listen to the show. We're going to team up, you and I, okay? I'm going to send you pictures of my feet, and when they ask you for that, you send them these pictures of these hairy, gross hobbit feet, and take the money.
One of my friends wants me to send them pictures of animal feet. Like, there's definitely people that are sending pictures, like hooves, yeah. But I know I'm really like, you know what? Fine. Like, if you're willing to pay me, I put my rates, I think, at $250 for 1 foot, $500 for 2, and $1,000 for a video. And I'm like, you know what? If you're willing to pay that, like, here are my feet. I don't even care. Like, help me fund my record.
What do you do in a video? Like, you're just going to wiggle your toes or what?
So I think my videos are going to be quite popular. I think what I think is like dipping your toes in peanut butter, or like putting your feet in the pool, or like, I don't know, plenty of things you could do that are like weird. I don't know.
I don't understand this fetish at all. So.
Pictures during COVID, and she made a lot of money. And
I've got a friend that does that too.
And like gave her their cards to order Uber. And I'm like, you know what? Clearly I'm not tapping into the market enough. So I have this idea. If there are any programmers watching this that would like to partner with me, I have this idea, and it's called Feet for Funding. And it's going to be a funding platform for female musicians where every artist has like a profile and like the project they're trying to fund, and you can have artists' feet and the socks they wear at shows and whatever the hell else you want to help them fund their work.
That's a good idea. I think you should let male artists too. I'd pay $20 to see what Keith Richards' feet look like. I just got a morbid curiosity.
To just everyone can do it, but it's genuinely an idea that I want to do just with how many requests I get for.
Wow, this is a bizarre ending for our interview, but that I love it. I love it.
I'm in my DMs a lot more than a lot of people are, because I genuinely love talking to people and like building connections with people. Like I like get cringy about the term fan, because I feel like my fans are like my friends, and I like care about them, and I genuinely like love having conversations with them and like talking to them about their lives and helping them through their problems. And so I'm in my DMs a lot, actually responding to people. So
that fits our personality here at Guns and Radio too, because we're the same way. We don't like the word fan either. We like friends or something else. But I definitely understand. And listen, Anastasia, I want to thank you for being here today. Thank you for coming on and sharing your music. Hopefully the album does really good. We'll be looking out for it. let us know when it drops so we can tell everybody about it.
Thank you for helping me spread the word. Definitely go watch the rest of the videos if you haven't yet. Watch London. That's one of my personal favorites.
Will do. And you can find all of those at Anastasia's YouTube channel, link in the description.
Yes, go to YouTube. We're about to be working very hard on the YouTube with consistent videos. I've been planning all day my schedule for the rest of the year, so all the BTS content and fun stuff is about to be on there.
And maybe even the occasional foot video.
Maybe we will go on. You can go on this journey with me.
I can't wait for the foot song to come out. That'll be a fun one. Just try to include us when it comes to writing, because I think we could have some funny lines that we could throw your way there.
Oh, definitely.
Done deal. You can make the theme song for Feet for Funding.
For Feet for Funding. There you go. Hey, we're down for it. I don't understand this fetish, so I don't know what to say, but
Funding can sponsor some episodes.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Anastasia, Elliot, everyone.
Well, welcome back to Guns and Radio, everybody. Our guest I should say our second guest today is Aien from, you know him from the intro. You don't know him from our intro, okay? You know him from his music, okay?
Yes.
You discovered this guy long before you started listening to this show. And he's just been gracious enough to help us out with our intro and to come and be a guest on our show. So, yeah, welcome to the show. Oh, hang on. Let me do this because I did this before. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, we got the reactions.
Yeah.
My, what a lovely audience we have tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess tonight.
I know, man. We have the most beautiful of audiences here on Guns and Radio. Only the finest people listen to this show. And I am in no way being a sycophant toward the people that listen to this show. That's just how it is.
We have laugh tracks, ladies and gentlemen. This is now a sitcom.
You gotta have your what would you call them? God damn it! What the fuck do you call those relationships that like content creators have with their audiences?
Was it like parasocial kind of? Or?
Yeah, parasocial. God damn it!
Oh, I thought you said Paris Hilton, and I'm like, I'm not gonna have a Paris Hilton
relationship.
Yeah,
why not? Don't you want to just be famous without any talent whatsoever?
If you sign up for the $10,000 Patreon level on our thing, Chris Caputo will actually have sex with you. And for another 10 grand, I will fly up and watch. So that depends on how bad you want it.
Who could say no to that offer?
I know, right?
Irresistible. Truly.
Yeah. Because you just see me standing in the corner of the room like this the whole time.
I mean,
I don't need pointers. Eh? You shut the fuck up over there.
Only for 10,000.
Oh no, you'll have pointers. I'll have a laser pointer. Be like, get her right here. This is the part. I'll be giving you instructions like a professional. Oh, one of those long wooden pointers, like the old school that they point to the board with.
You're gonna whip me with a meter stick?
No, I'm just going to point to parts of the person's body. I assume it's hopefully a female, but you never know for the right price. We might have to up that. We might have to up that charge there.
Sure.
So, Aien, welcome to the show, man. It's been, 2 years since it's not been that long since we talked, but it's been a couple of years.
Also, the first time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been 3 years, I think. Last time I spoke was, I think, just when my second album came out, which was, I think, November 2020. Right. That's when I did the covers of the leaks. Yeah. Ever since I've been recording a lot, but not releasing much of anything at all. I did some new mixes. I released instrumentals, which I'm still quite proud of. At least I did like a set of 4 new mixes. I did one for Hard School, for Oh My God. I did one for Atlas, and I'm still very, very proud of them to this day, which is quite rare because I'm quite ashamed of my previous work.
Oh,
No,
I don't know why.
It's not that good. It's just not that good.
disagree.
I mean, I think the first album is bad in a lot of respects. The second one is just bad in terms of mixing.
I'll say this. I'm not going to say that it's bad because I don't think the older stuff that I've heard, I don't think any of it ever sounded bad. I will say the newer stuff sounds better, but that's just, you've improved your ability. And
Better for
I
sure.
know
Yeah,
that
I agree.
I know that you've got high standards for your music because we had when we were making the intro to this show, which by the way, the fact that you would read those lyrics and be like, hell yeah, I'll do this, and not like this is stupid, like you were in on the joke, like you get
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
that was great. But even then, for that stupid little song that we wrote, you were very particular about the levels and the mix and everything, and
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's very important to me that every aspect in the chain of the music you're producing is finely tuned and perfect for whatever medium you're trying to bring it on to, right?
yeah.
If you from the overall equalization sort of what we call it, like the equalization, I guess, style to the format, to the loudness. There's a lot of things that you need to. That I personally put a lot of emphasis on really getting just right.
You would have
Yeah.
think from listening to that intro that we paid that like $1,000 for that, and that was not the case at all. As a matter of fact, I mean that was a very very generous of you to do that for us, and it's become part of our personality, man. I can't imagine doing this show again and going back to some of those instrumentals we used to play. And
I think the old Chinese Democracy instrumental was quite nice. I liked it quite a bit.
I didn't. You know what I paid for that?
Ooh, geez, tell me.
I ripped it off of YouTube.
And we got one of your buddies do the voiceover for it.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, sure. It's still good. It's still good.
Now,
for sure.
I think we told this in the last episode, but the voiceover was originally supposed to be Tom Phillips of WWE.
Yeah, I remember that because I was after I think the season 1 finale. We were going to go into the Chinese Democracy intro, and we kept that I think for at least season 2 and then season 3 as well.
Yeah, that was before we had video, so we made it sound like it was a big WrestleMania thing, and you had a huge audience cheering and everything, and we had pyro, like you hear the pyro like explode, and then he comes on, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the season finale. But that bastard, well, it's not his fault. WWE put a stop to cameos for their superstars the day if he would have recorded it one day sooner when I ordered it, then we would have had Tom Phillips.
Yeah, and now look, a few years later, they're now partnering with Twitch again.
Yeah, and now we're not interested.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
you're too good for it. You're too good for it. What can I say? Yeah.
Sure. We've ascended, man. You should have got on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
While we were still not famous.
Should have told Vinnie Mac and Hunter that too.
Yeah, I know. I know. They regret it. I mean, we drive better limos than they do now.
Yeah.
Drive limos.
Yeah. Howard Stern is basically begging to be on your show at this point, honestly.
Listen, I tell him all the time, like, look, man, I'm sorry. You got your thing. We got ours. We can't have D-listers on our show. It's just, it's just can't happen.
I mean, it is the way it is, of course.
I said
it's how show
a
business
cameo,
works, right? Yeah.
Oh, you can buy a cameo. I was gonna for Chris's birthday one year, I was gonna get a Tan Mom cameo, and then I was gonna tell her like that Chris Caputo was like real sexy and he wants you to flirt with him and stuff like that. So then we'd have Tan Mom come on. Hey Chris, you're very sexy. I want to sleep with you, and I thought that'd be real funny. But then I'm always scared to pull too heavy of a prank on Chris because I've gone 4 years now without pissing him off just too bad. and And I want to maintain that good working relationship there because we, if he done it to me, I would be like, that's hilarious. But I don't know how he would take it. We were going to do a roast one year, for his birthday, and we had, I was going to get Brando, Dan, and then I was going to get on Cameo, and I was going to get Gilbert Gottfried, Lisa Lampanelli, and Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross, the roast master.
And then give them a few, just tell them enough about Caputo that they could make a quick 5-minute video, and we would do a roast. But then the whole thing lied on not telling Chris that he was coming into and we would have to ambush him with a roast. But then somebody was like, you think, man, he might get his feelings hurt. And at the time, this was season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So in hindsight, we probably could have done it, and I'm sure Chris would have got the joke, and we would have
okay.
But at the time, I didn't know him all that well, and I was like, yeah, I don't want him to. I would hate to make him feel bad or something, and on his birthday of all times too. And
you're a good friend. You're a good friend.
I try to be. I try my best to be. Sometimes I fail, but I do my best to treat people well. For the most part. But man, so are you going to be putting any music out anytime soon?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't exactly come here to promote anything yet because God knows I'm not sure when I'm going to be done, but I'm currently working on the final sort of, because the last album was like a narrative, right? It had a narrative. It was kind of a concept album.
Mm-hmm.
And this last track is supposed to it's original, so I really hope it takes off. And it's supposed to sort of wrap everything up nicely with a bow. And it's supposed to like finish up the narrative. I've got a music video I'm currently editing. It's taking a lot of time, but I sure hope it pays off.
Yeah.
It's going to be a single, so it's going to have like an A side, a B side, and well, if it garners enough interest, I might even put out like a CD for it, just for the single.
Like a physical.
I've always wanted to. Yeah, I've always wanted to do something like that. I'm a big fan of like having like CD singles with like B sides and like bonus tracks and shit. I find that very, very enticing. So yeah, I hope I can become like this musician again. Have like a bunch of obscure releases, like physical releases in the future, where people have to like, oh my god, I didn't even know he had that single on CD, and like, I'm gonna go get it somehow. Yeah,
well, I'm sure it's like
a pop song. Yeah,
you're very talented.
It's like a. Oh, thank you. It's gonna be more like a pop song, more like in the vein of Going Down. But yeah, I'm quite proud of it, and I hope that after that I can sort of move forward from being like the Guns N' Roses cover artist and to do my own things. I still have some. I think I still have some Guns N' Roses covers that I haven't released yet. I might release them, I don't know, sometime in the future. God knows, like a reissue or something. But for now, I'm just gonna focus on this. I've got like a collaboration coming up with some Russian dude. His name's Nick Lepsky. He fled Russia after the invasion, after the draft. He's currently residing in Georgia, and yeah, he's very talented. He's got quite a following in his home country, which I'm quite surprised by. You know, it's such an honor to work with somebody so much more somewhat more high profile than you. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to bring that out. But yeah, that's kind of what I got going for myself. Yeah.
You're a very serious artist, and you did so good on our intro reading those lyrics that, I want to live vicariously through you. All right. I'm going to read you some song titles, for other songs I wrote, and you tell me that if you'd be willing to record them. This is me being selfish right now and
right. Hit me.
Giving into my own narcissism, because I'm a very good songwriter, as you've seen in the past. So I'm going to read you a couple of songs here. This one is called Honey, Please Shave Your Vagina. You think you might do a good that one's actually about one of my ex-wives. Let's
What?
see. Itching my butt. That's a good one. That's any man can relate to itching my butt. Like we've all been there. You think that would be something you could cover there? And I think this could be a concept album too, man. We got bitch all the time. That's about another one of my ex-wives because she used to bitch all the time.
How many do you have?
Oh, I've got a million of these.
No, I mean ex-wives.
Oh, I got a million of those too.
Yeah.
The average
Jeez.
duration of a marriage for me is about 3 weeks.
Ooh,
Kim
harsh.
Kardashian style.
Most of them don't make it past the courthouse. We're divorced by the time they file the papers.
Or you're doing a Britney Spears style where you go shotgun wedding and in 24 hours realize, oh, I sobered up. Why the fuck did I do this?
Yeah, especially when you marry a guy like Kevin Federline.
Yeah. Oh no, that was.
Do you do all your marriages in Las Vegas, or like, what's the deal here?
No, not Vegas. We're not quite that classy. I usually go to Montgomery, Alabama, because the legal system is a lot slower there. So half of them haven't even.
They have drive-throughs probably there too. You just go in and be like, yeah, totally. That's
Yeah, most of the time we just do the ceremony in the house and don't even involve legalities to it. I got 3 mail order wives that way.
Yeah. So as long as you
see.
know someone who got their legally ordained ministry license online, you're good to go. That's it.
Yeah, let's see what else we got. Broke as fuck. That's a good one. Let's see here.
Oh, that sounds like a good thing I could work on for sure.
Oh yeah, and we got let's see here. A Butterface at the Bar. That's a beautiful storytelling song. Where you know the concept where she's pretty everywhere. Butterface. That's a good one. This booger's got to go. That's the first time I've heard that one. This booger's got to go. That's kind of like a country ballad.
It definitely sounds like it. That's what I was thinking when I first heard that name. But I was like,
I know, right?
Maybe not, But you really reassured me on that one.
Yeah, I'm so secretive with the songs that I've written that I use invisible ink so only I can see it.
You have like the UV light, you just shine on it.
Yeah. I have special UV glasses that can read the invisible ink.
This is quality material. You don't want anybody to steal it, right? So,
exactly.
Well, I know that's why we're
like launch codes, man. You can't.
Yeah.
There's like a half dozen 60-year-old dudes waiting to get their hands on bitching all the time.
I know, right?
Songs. Yeah.
Keith Richards,
bitch wife keeps fucking me up, Man,
Keith Richards and Mick Jagger are listening to this podcast right now, writing down these song titles. They can't wait to get their hands on Itching My Butt. I've told them several times I'm not selling the rights to that song, and they can't take a hint.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard these song titles. I was like, it sounds like
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
You got to stick to your principles, is what I was going to say.
I said something. That reminds me. I said something on our Discord, so the people listening here would get the joke, and so we wouldn't be pulling a prank on our listeners, but we'd pull a prank on the rest of the GNR community. I told Aien what we should do is we should get one of those AI Axl Rose voices and make a fake version of the general, but then give it to Aien to put in his copyright library so we can start putting it on YouTube and then have him take them down to add to the realism. And then only people that listen to Guns and Radio would be wise that this is bullshit and it's a prank. And we might get in one of those internet magazines like not Rolling Stone, but what's the one, Metal Hammer or something like that? What's the one we read all the time on here?
Oh, you're into Ultimate Classic Rock, like Loudwire.
Yeah, Loudwire. That's the one.
Yeah,
that would
anything for cloud. Yeah.
I mean, it would never be something that would get people back over here for us, but it would be something our listeners could be like, we know what's going on.
We were part of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the kind of shit that YouTuber Danny Gonzalez likes to do, where he'll he likes to like make fun of, or recently he's been like on a streak of making fun of like weird TikTok creators who, like, for example, try to fake having like a paparazzi following them around, like fake being a celebrity, and be like, "Oh my god, I'm being followed by paparazzi," and they're being so rude, but they're just some no-name guy, and they're being filmed by their friend who's like pretending to be paparazzi, and then he goes and tries to do the same kind of shit. But unfortunately, his community is so big that eventually the jig is up. But, and here comes the big but, the caveat is, like the kicker is that on TikTok, you can moderate comments. So if there are people saying like, "Oh my God, we know it's you. You're not fooling anybody," you can just leave that comment, you know? So you can maintain that illusion for longer.
I don't know. That's hard. That's a lot.
It is
more
hard.
work.
That is.
I think
it
it's
is hard,
easier
but
to
you're
just get famous.
Imagine the amount of people you're like tricking into this. You know, you're grifting. You're not grifting, I guess. You're fucking fooling half the planet doing that, and nobody will be none the wiser. So
Yeah,
it has to be exhilarating, right?
I'm sure it is. I have one video ever that went viral on TikTok, and I can let me pull up TikTok right now. And since we've been talking here, it's gotten 4 new comments on it. And I couldn't imagine going through all of those and picking ones out and having to actually read them all. Because at first it's easy, because at first it's like, oh, somebody commented on my video. That was nice of them. Oh, another person commented. This was the day 1, by the way. And then I realized an hour into it, I'm like, oh God, they won't stop. Like I was responding to everybody because I'm trying to be a nice guy. And then like after an hour, I'm like, fuck. I got to do something, because I got everybody responded to, and then it refreshes and there's like 200 new comments, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So that's when I realized it was like 3 million people watched this damn thing, and it wasn't even funny. Like I made it on the couch. I made it because I was bored. It was a Roman Reigns. It was a wrestling Roman Reigns joke.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, I guess you really hit that niche, right? Yeah.
I guess so. I mean, and
you're freaking good.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad because we weren't doing anything on TikTok. We started out as a Guns and Radio TikTok, and then I took it as my own because we weren't using it and nobody was following it. And I wanted to just put random bullshit up anyway and not have Guns and Radio affected by whatever dumb thing I decided to post. But now that it actually people follow the account, I've started once again posting Guns and Radio stuff. Hopefully somebody will come over here and check us out.
Yeah.
You know, get that ad money.
Oh, yeah.
I don't actually have a TikTok at all. Not even a Twitter. I only have.
Well,
maybe, I don't know. I just don't like the format of TikTok, and honestly, not that of Twitter either. Like the way the platforms are designed in both cases, they're very similar in the way they operate, but one applies to video, one applies to like text and chat. But the way the platforms are structured and the way they incentivize certain behaviors just make the platforms really toxic, I think, more so than something like Facebook or Instagram. I don't use Facebook because I don't know, I never ever gained any traction, and honestly, I think it would be better if the website burned. And
yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah,
literally, the only way on my Facebook is for like our podcast page. That's it. So
yeah, I whore out Guns and Radio on Facebook, and I use it as a way to log every concert I go to. So every time I go to a concert, I create a life event on Facebook, and then I include the set list and whatever pictures. So I'm not a big picture guy. I want to be at the concert, not be filming it.
Yeah, me either.
So whatever photos I take, and a lot of times I steal other people's because I just look up and take other people's photos and videos from the event and add to that collection. But
yeah, I only think I've ever like taken one picture at like a concert. I think it was Slipknot. They came to Vienna like a year or two ago. That was it. Like my photo album is devoid of any sort of concert footage. Actually, my photo album is generally devoid of stuff. I don't take a lot of pictures unless it's like some weird. I really enjoy taking pictures of cool aesthetic stuff I see around me, like in the city, like of nature, of architecture, and I take those with the camera that I'm currently using. But I don't really take pictures of myself or anything that's going on because I don't really care to. I just kind of live in the moment and I keep it all private mostly.
That's fair because I dealt with you and we talked with you and everything for a couple of years before I knew what you looked like. The first time I ever saw what you looked like is when we were talking about the intro and making the intro. And we had those private calls.
That's right. Yeah, right. I mean, I also have my my photo on Spotify. It's really old. Like, it may look similar to what I look like now, like without the glasses, like this. But it's from 2017, I think.
Oh,
2018. It was right before I released my first album. I was like 16 at the time, I guess. Yeah. Wow. Time sure flew. Like, yeah.
I remember when you first came on the show, Chris had made the connection, and I was like, okay, we got a guest coming on. That'll be cool. It's an artist. I didn't have any clue who it was, and we because back then we didn't really prepare kind of like we do now, and I wasn't any good at interviewing back then, and we were still figuring out Guns and Radio too. It took us long enough. We only figured it out last week. Last week was our first good show, so I think well, we're on the right trajectory here. But I remember when I found out who it was because the pronouncing of the name, as you can tell, Aien is something I have trouble with. But when he told me who it was, it's like, oh, it's this guy named Aien, and I was what? Like you got this guy to come on? Why didn't you tell me this? Like, I've been listening to this guy for years, man.
I didn't even know you knew him. Like, I apparently just discovered, like, I know you, Dustin, you and I are big, like, on Chinese Democracy. That's, like, the one, like, Guns N' Roses album we were pretty much, I think, alive for the most, I'd say. Like, I know me for sure.
Absolutely.
You know, like...
I was alive for all of them except for Live Like a Suicide.
Yeah, I mean... So like we're big on that, and then someone's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know how I found like the 10 Years of Democracy album randomly. I don't know the ways the internet worked its magic somehow, and I found that. I found them covering this album. I was like, shit, it's pretty freaking good.
The way I found it was I wanted to show people some of the songs, but they weren't available anywhere. Like now, you can go on YouTube and look up Perhaps or Hard School or anything like that, and you can find them easily. But at the time, there was some that I just couldn't find anywhere. And so I wanted to show people how good these songs were. And a lot of your covers were close enough that I could show them to people and tell them, well, this is a cover, but it's really close to the original. And I was like, man, this is really good. So I would save them for my own listening, because a lot of times I was real paranoid at first about saving some of these unreleased tracks to my device. I don't know what I thought was going to happen. Like Fernando Lebeas was going to come and kick open the door. Get down on the ground, motherfucker. I know you got my song.
The Brazilian Mafia is going to come after you like they did Robert Bird.
If you want to buy that, I don't buy that at all.
Yeah. I don't know. That guy's a nut job.
Yeah, his story changed too many times for me to believe it.
Exactly.
I mean, I did admit after the Rolling Stone interview that I'd lied on here about a few things that I knew going on with those leaks, but I never apologized for it. I'm not going to, because anytime a friend of mine is in legal trouble, and if me lying about something can get them out of it, I'll do it every time.
That's fair enough, I guess, in a lot of situations, especially when it comes to like copyright law. I think I'll usually side with lying to sort of protect sort of leaks over being honest about it, because fuck them. Like most of these big sort of labels, they're not losing anything through this. They're already really exploitative and already are basically stealing in terms of in like an abstract way, they're essentially
ripping off the artist.
I guess, yeah, they're ripping off the artists, and they're kind of rent seeking. Like they live and they perpetuate themselves on these existing properties that they've had access to for decades and decades. And when you're a new artist, you come in and, well, how are you supposed to compete with this massive machine that you're faced with, right? So yeah, there's no good argument to be made why you should ever like stick up for those poor big labels like UMG or shit. Yeah, fuck them. They're not going to lose anything through those leaks coming out, you know.
And if Rick hadn't have done what he did, we would have never got Hard School.
Yeah, we would have never got it. And possibly a third, which we're going to talk about very soon.
Yeah, let's get into that. But I do want to say those motherfuckers were sitting on a shelf for 20 years before that happened. You expect me to believe that after they leak, all of a sudden now we're ready to release? No, that shit would have kept sitting there.
Yeah, exactly.
We never would have heard it.
You never would have heard it until like the 30-year box set or some shit if they wanted to release it.
Yeah, no, there's so little incentive in the Guns N' Roses camp to do anything like that. Like I think it's very unlikely, and it saddens me that there's so much music out there that is not being released because it's being gatekept by these massive corporations that don't like the point of music is that it's communication, it's art. It brings it means a lot to a lot of people who listen to it, and ultimately this communication is being gatekept by like a handful of big corporations who get to say what goes and what doesn't go. And I think that's just shitty. You know, we should share to the greatest possible extent. We should have the most possible access, like maximize the amount of access we have to music. And I think that's just best for humanity in general.
I agree.
You know,
well, let me ask you this: are you going to any of the shows on this upcoming GNR tour? Are they coming anywhere close to you?
Listen, they came, I think, in June of 2022, and I abstained because I saw them in 2017, and I wasn't all that impressed. Like a very basic stage show. The band is kind of old for the most part. Like at least the founding members are kind of old, so they're not jumping around as much, which is fair enough, you know. But it just doesn't make for a very exciting show, and Axl Rose just doesn't have the chops anymore. And there's very little to excite me. So I saw them in 2017 in Vienna, and the tickets are so expensive. So why would I want to go again? Like I saw Muse recently in near Vienna, and oh man, it's a whole different league. Like we're talking Rammstein tiers of like showmanship, like amazing technology, pyrotechnics, confetti everywhere, fucking animatronics, everything, interludes. Like it was a truly high quality audiovisual experience, and it was like $100. But a GNR ticket costs even more than that, and it delivers so much less. I have so few reasons to spend that much on a GNR GNR ticket again, when I can see what I can get for that kind of money. You know, it's just not worth it.
Let me ask you this, and be honest, okay? Don't be humble, okay? I really wanna know this. So when you're listening to one of the bands live that is like an idol of yours, for example, and maybe GNR, maybe Motley Crue, and as a performer and as an artist yourself, you know that you do this better. You know it. You can't have a trained ear for music and not know that you're doing this better than the legend that you're watching. Does that not give you some kind of internal gratification that even though I may not be as famous, I am totally rocking this way better than this bullshit I'm seeing on stage? And maybe you even feel ripped off a little more than the normal man or the layman would.
Well, it's difficult because there's a part of me that thinks so, but on the other hand, from personal experience, playing live it's quite difficult. Like, you have so many songs to memorize, you need to pull them off perfectly, and I think Slash does a decent job. Axel doesn't really. I mean, he memorizes his songs, but
He
it's
karaoke's
difficult. Like,
though.
I don't think I could do them better. At least not yet. I'm currently undertaking a lot of. I'm taking singing lessons, and I think I'm getting there, but I don't think I can. I think I could probably. Nah, I don't think I could. Honestly, I don't think I could do it better than any band member of Guns N' Roses, at least. Motley Crue, probably also not. The songs, I would probably have to get the band to play the songs pitch down, and I would have to get some good vocal training. I would have to memorize all my shit. I would have
Why
to go
Vince
through
Neil doesn't?
Yeah, well, he has his teleprompter, I guess.
No,
okay,
Vince Neil.
maybe.
Have you ever heard Vince Neil live? He just makes shit up, you know.
Yeah.
Bro, he's
Now,
like that
wait,
one.
Yeah, he
wait,
has the
hang on.
confidence.
Now, just a
He has the
goddamn minute
confidence.
here. Don't you
Oh,
ever
God.
say that I just make shit up, okay? I don't make anything up, okay? I am the greatest rock star in the history.
Okay, I hung up on him.
Oh, thank God. I don't
So
want
if
to
you
hear
say
him.
his
Man,
name
he's
three
got to
times,
stop doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna blow up
if you
gas.
say his
over here.
name 3 times in a podcast, it Beetlejuices him in. So
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
have to
gotta-
keep aware
Yeah.
of that. I keep forgetting that.
It's deceptively difficult to go on tour. It's just so much preparation, and there's this massive crowd to see any small mistake you'll make. I don't think I could pull it off, honestly.
it's got to be a lot of work because you're away from
for
home.
sure.
You're away from
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, we talked about this briefly before the show. I'm the kind of guy, I don't like to go to battle anywhere but on my home turf. Okay. I don't like to go number 2 in a hotel. Certainly not a porta potty. I don't think I would make a good touring musician. My rider would be awful. They'd be having to fly my personal porta potty around, and it would be terrible. I don't see how a lot of and then a lot of people think writers are unreasonable because they're asking for all this food and shit, and people make fun of them. It's like, dude, they probably haven't ate all day. They were probably in transit for hours to get here, and they're probably starving by the time they get there. And so, when people are making fun of, oh, why do they gotta have 30 sandwiches and shit? Because there's like 40 people coming with them to put the show on.
Yeah.
Everybody's
exactly.
hungry. Everybody needs to
Cast
eat.
and crew.
Yeah. And it's not that unreasonable to ask you to feed them. Now, some of them, like a donkey show and stuff like that, that's in our rider, actually. And if you really think about it, that's not that unreasonable because they need entertainment, and our crew, our production crew likes a certain kind of. We do the same thing that Joe Exotic did with Tiger King. That's how we find our roadies when Chris and I when our band goes on tour.
What the, oh God.
Yeah.
What does he do? Because I haven't watched Tiger King at all.
Oh, he just picks up random people at a bus stop and says, "Hey, you want a job?
Here's $10.
Yeah, you'll work
wow.
cheap."
Yeah.
Man, he's a persuasive guy then, I guess. Or yeah.
I mean, when you're
Yes,
down
sir.
on your luck and a random guy offers you a job out of the blue, I mean, you take it.
It really that really seems like one of those cautionary tales that Christians would come up with about something about Satan tempting you or some shit like that.
If you get to hell and Satan is anything like Joe Exotic, I don't know, man. Hey, now,
Yeah,
welcome to hell, motherfucker.
I think you're gonna be for a good time.
That bitch Carol Baskin's gonna be down here pretty soon.
She ran for president in 2020, right?
I didn't know about
I
the
think
Carol
he tried
Baskin.
to.
Yeah. He attempted to. He had a campaign.
Oh, no,
Or was it
no,
2016? I think it was 2016.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
because that was before
he
he
was in jail.
got to jail. Yeah, because in 2020, no, he was trying to get the pardon from then President Trump,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah,
never
that's
happened.
right. That's right.
They brought the limo.
Oh,
and
dude,
they
you had everything ready. It's like,
stop.
oh, it's a sure thing. Totally didn't happen. Fucking disappointment.
Oh man, that's the best part. That's the best part.
Yeah, 2020 was
I feel
a
bad for the
weird
guy,
year,
kinda.
man. We were talking about a friggin' an order of tigers. That was the
Oh,
biggest thing of
man.
2020.
But he was such a piece of shit when
Yeah.
you really get into it that you know, I shouldn't feel bad for him,
Mhm.
but I can't help but to feel a little bad for him because all this time he wanted all this fame and all of this all this shit. He finally gets it after he goes to prison.
Yeah.
and now he can't do anything about it because he's stuck in prison. And you can't help but feel a little bad for the guy. At least I
a
can.
true monkey paws moment. You know, you get to be famous, but you're famous in jail.
Yeah, that sounds like when you get one of those cursed genies, like you said, like a monkey's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the monkey's paw thing. Yeah,
That's bad. That's wild. Well, let's talk about this upcoming GNR tour, Chris. And
It's currently happening. I think they're doing like the Middle East and Europe right now, I believe.
And in somewhere in Israel, I think it was. I can't remember the name.
Mm-hmm.
We had to go a full-fledged tornado warning on our Facebook this week because they sound checked perhaps.
Yeah, in Tel Aviv before the show there in Israel.
Yeah, that's right. I heard the news. Yeah,
and
big news.
It got us on red alert, but then they didn't sound check it at the next show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were just in. They went to Madrid after. I gotta look up the tour dates, actually. Let's see. Hang on.
Yeah, they went to Madrid. You're right. And I'm starting to think, since they didn't even sound check it, and I got to thinking about this. We only got the one video from somebody showing them sound checking, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
How do we know that that was not fake?
It's true. I mean, it's definitely tough.
Listen, I've heard the other sound checks from previous like Hard School, Silkworms, and honestly, like that rendition of Perhaps that I heard, it was the acoustics and the sound overall was matching up pretty nicely. You'd have to put in far more effort than it would be worth it to sort of pull something like that off. You need to get the reverb right. You need to get the guitar sound right. You need to get Axl Rose's voice right. You'd have to get all these things right to convince like a small portion of people. First of all, there are so few people who even know of the existence of that song.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an even smaller contingent of people who is going to see that video. Like, this is not worth it. This is such a massive con for such a small payoff.
Most cons don't have a payoff.
Yeah, I mean the payoff would be that you would be fooling so many people, you know, like you wanted to do, I guess, with the
AI generated stuff.
With the general, but this, I mean, that would be a more worthwhile con than staging a sound check for a song that barely anybody knows about. And yeah, come on, it's so unlikely. Like I'm applying Occam's razor here. It's just the most likely explanation is that it's real. Honestly,
can I tell you how I would have pulled it off? I'm going to go O.J. Simpson. If I did it, here's how. Even though I really didn't actually do it, this is how I would do it. All right.
I
would get the song. I would call up Aien and I'd say, "Hey man, I need this instrument. I need your instrument."
Why do all your zany plans involve me?
Yeah,
because you're the best musician. Fuck. You're the best musician I know. So I would call him. Hey,
you'd like 5 of them already. Let's get them to do it.
And then I would get YouTube Dustin Bonez to do the Axl voice. Perhaps I will rise.
Oh my god!
and then I would mix them together, and then I would send them. I have a friend that works in radio who's an audio engineer, and I'd say, make this sound like it's really far away. And maybe I'd send him an example. It'd probably take me. I could pull this off in about a week. Depending on if I am. The only thing that would hold me up is Aien would be like, "Man, this is stupid," and I'm not participating in it, which I feel like would probably be what would happen.
My morals would be the breaking point to your plan, I guess. Yeah. Sorry.
And then he would be like, "What's the payoff here?" And I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah, what is the payoff? Come on, pay me. God damn it.
Yeah, damn it. Pay this man.
How much would I be
pay
willing
me for
pay?
A con like that,
Now for the general con, because I don't think the general actually exists. I think that would be greater for me just because it's funny because I don't think it's even a real song.
I think it's real. Like Axl played it in like one of his parties, right?
Allegedly, that could have been anything. You couldn't hear anything because of all the people talking.
Yeah, it was a cell phone.
Sure. I think I heard his voice breaking through the people. Like I've listened very intently to the recording, and I think there's probably something in there worthwhile, but Lord knows it'll probably get released in like 50 years when Axl Rose's estate is handled by his son or grandson or some shit.
And we wouldn't know. We would never know that was the general because it won't be named that. It'll be like Absurd used to be called Silkworms.
Yeah, they'll just switch the name.
That's right. Yeah.
Better used to be called $3 Pyramid.
Yeah, that was the
that's right.
How do we know the general wasn't like a code name for something like Ridin and the Bedouins?
Because it didn't sound like Ridin and the Bedouins, at least not the party recording. It didn't sound like anything I'd heard before.
Yeah, and this was after Ridin and the Bedouins was released on.
That's right. Album, that's after it got demoed. Like we know the 2000 the demo from the year 2000, so it's not that.
Why would Axl play it at a party though, when he won't even play "Sweet Child of Mine" at a party?
Why not? This guy played a rough cut of Chinese Democracy at a strip club in 2006. He's gonna play his music anywhere the fuck he wants.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
He's gonna go to like someone's funeral and start playing Chinese Democracy too.
So your final verdict is that was definitely real.
It's probably a clip of some unreleased stuff. Maybe he was working on for Chinese Democracy too. Because I remember even like in interviews with Ashba as well, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we're every night after shows in the hotel, whatever, we'd like come up with ideas for stuff." So there definitely was they were working on some stuff for Chinese Democracy too. Maybe we're gonna use some of the old stuff they had, repurpose it, layer another 7-8 guitars on top of it and say fuck it, whatever. But so it definitely was something. It was probably like a working idea. And I think even when on Brando, when he interviewed Brain, it was like even that was like, oh, the general's probably just a working idea, whatever, for the song. It could become something else. Honestly, at this point.
Because he did say that it was only called the General because when they were saving the file, they were eating General Tao's chicken. And so that's pretty interesting. But we are still I've lowered our new song alert 2 levels from red to yellow.
All right.
So we're still kind of in that tornado watch. We're still keeping an eye on the situation, waiting to.
There will be something though.
If they drop a new song, we're gonna have to do another goddamn midnight episode like we did the last time.
I'm down for it.
Yeah, be sure to keep the world posted.
Yeah, because the world is listening to Guns and Radio.
That's right.
Yeah,
we are your center.
Too big for Howard Stern, too small to get me on.
I'm telling you, man. And so we're definitely grateful that you came on our show and not his because. Listen, I didn't want to tell this.
Yeah, it was a close call. What can I say? I mean,
I didn't want to tell this on air because I hate to humiliate a small artist like Howard Stern, but he's been knocking down Aien's door constantly. I think they sent Ronnie the limo driver to even pick him up one time, and he was like, "No, I don't do small time radio." And I hate to my colleagues in the air. I hate to call them out and everything like that. But I mean, stay in your lane. Okay. Keep interviewing small celebrities like Bruce Springsteen and save the A-listers, the S tier for us. Because, we definitely are. I wonder if anybody's listening to this for the first time going, wow, this guy's so full of shit.
We're full of something, all right.
Yeah. Speaking of being full of shit, I've got a game here that I wanted to play with you guys. Because
you want to play a game like the Saw guy?
I want to play a game.
I want to play a game.
Really.
Oh, listen, I gotta say, just one small thing. My camera that I'm using to stream right now could possibly run out of battery. I've a replacement battery, so it's not an issue. But my feed might cut off, and I'd have to switch the battery.
Oh no!
So just so you know, giving you a heads up. So if my stream ever cuts off, that's why.
Okay, well, we better get to this pretty quickly then.
Let's do it then.
Yeah.
So the name of this game is called Porn or Shitty Movie.
Ooh.
And I got the inspiration from this because my mother is a big fan of those Hallmark movies, and the acting is so bad that it seems like it could be porn. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play a clip. I'm going to start with you, Aien, and let you go first. I'm going to play a clip for you. And after the clip is over, you have to answer the question: is this clip from a porn or a shitty movie? And it's not going to be easy, okay? But I mean, you have a very tuned ear, so hopefully you'll be good at this. So here we go. Here's our first clip.
Wouldn't be surprised if Aston hired her for her husband. Never could resist a cute dancer. It's one thing we had in common.
Yes. Well, Mark Aston won't be doing any dancing now.
Okay. There's the clip. Now, do you need
My guess is on shitty movie. There was clearly some background ambiance, like they were out in a mall or some shit. There's no way there's a porn filmed in this kind of environment. Like a porn is very intimate, you know, it's all very like up close to the mic, you know, there's no ambiance whatsoever. It's all just the voices and like the additional sounds that come with the genre, I suppose. But yeah, there's no way in hell that this is a porn. No.
I don't know.
Shitty
They do
movie,
some
for sure.
outdoor, but okay. So you're saying shitty movie. All right, let's show the answer on stream here.
Wouldn't be surprised if Aston hired her for her husband.
You're right. It was a.
Got him. Yes.
All right, it was a shitty movie.
We had in common.
Yes.
All right, so
Mark Aston won't.
that was from a Hallmark film that I did not bother writing the name down for. So
That's a good thing you didn't. They're gonna replay it on a loop anyways, probably during Christmas time. So
yeah. All right. So Chris,
all right,
you're up for our next one. So let me
all right,
get the next clip loaded. This one's for Caputo here.
all righty.
Tell me, is this from a porn or a shitty movie?
All right.
How much do you know about Max's work?
Me? Almost nothing. We kind of keep our projects to ourselves. You know, it's like not a big topic at the water cooler.
That's too bad.
All right, Chris.
I think the last line kind of just gave it away.
Yeah, for sure. Come on.
I heard some rustling. I'm like, oh gosh, he's fucking showing some cleavage over there. So I'm gonna go porn.
That's too bad.
You're gonna say porn?
Yeah, that's too bad.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I'm going porn.
Let's see the answer here, because I do have an extended clip for the answer here.
How much do you know about Max's work?
Me? Almost nothing.
Oh, yes,
we kind of keep our projects to ourselves. You know, it's like not a big topic at the water cooler.
That's too bad. Because I would really reward the man that could explain what my husband's going through.
Reward? I don't think I get your drift.
Hey.
Hey.
Yes, it was a porn.
He's like, oh,
The zipper,
okay,
the
sure,
zipper was just the cherry on top.
All right. So, Aien, you're up next. Let's get our next
right.
video ready
This is too
here.
easy, man. This is too easy. You
This
gotta spice things up a little, you know?
Yeah, I know. Here we go. This one's probably some of them I didn't. Sometimes a game is not a hard game, but it's still a funny game. So Let's see. Okay, here's your next clip. Is this from a porn or a shitty movie?
The day I got those plates from that homeless Hare Krishna on Venice Beach was the happiest day of my life. All in exchange for a hot lunch.
Oh, Phoebe, you are so clever.
Boy, you have to be clever when you're the boss of the entire waterfront territory, as well as a portion of the north side east of Main Street.
All right, there's your clip. Is that from a porn or a shitty movie?
This is a porn, and it's really questionable. Like, the way the woman was talking was clearly supposed to be like "Ooh, I'm so vulnerable, so young and so vulnerable," and it was kind of gross, honestly. But yeah, it's probably a porn.
Okay, here we go. Let's take a look. Let's get the answer on screen here.
The day I got those plates from that homeless Hare Krishna on Venice Beach was the happiest day of my life. All in exchange for a hot lunch.
Oh, Phoebe.
So yes, if you can tell.
Come on, look at the cannons. That's a giveaway.
This was definitely a porn. So all right, good job. I'm not going to play the sound effect again, but yeah, we'll clap for you. Okay.
Thank you. Settle down.
All right, so Chris. Now this next one might be a little hard. Okay, so you want to listen to every nuance in this game.
Nuance.
All right, so is this from a porn or a shitty movie?
Let's see.
You know, we have that big test coming up next week. Would you like to study together?
Yeah, well, when were you thinking?
Do you have any plans tonight?
Are you sure it's okay that I'm here?
Yeah, of course. My parents are out and won't be back for a while. Don't be so distant.
All right, Chris.
Oh, fuck, this one's tough. This one is actually tough. Cause it's like, it does sound like a very like porno-esque situation, but then it's like, wait, this could probably also happen in one of these movies. Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. That's the thing. That's a tough one.
I wouldn't say anything.
No, yeah, you don't want to give it away.
Oh, fuck. Because it was like,
I don't know for sure, but I could always give my guess, but no. I want to let Chris fry.
So
I want to let him cook on this one.
The last line threw me off, where it's like, oh, don't be so like distant or whatever. I'm like, oh, she's going in for the kill or something. Oh man, she's like, wait the oh, you know what? I don't know. I'm like slightly leaning towards shitty Hallmark movie.
Shitty Hallmark movie. Okay, what do you think it is, Aien? Like, you won't get any points, but now that Chris has gave his answer, what do you think it is? Just for fun.
This is 100% misdirect. Like, you set it up perfectly for it to be a porn, because it's like, oh, my parents aren't home. We could totally get it on right now. And it's like the obvious setup for like a very vanilla porn. But this has to be like a misdirect.
Okay.
It's a shitty movie for sure.
All right, well, let's play the clip.
You know, we have that big test coming up next week.
And I don't think playing the clip is going to tell
you. It's a porn, no.
Yeah, well, when were you...
I don't think playing the clip is going to tell you anything here. Because now they're in the bedroom.
It's okay that I'm here?
Yeah, of course. My parents are out and won't be back for a while. Don't be so distant.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, you're both correct. It is a shitty movie, and it was a misdirect.
Holy shit. No way.
Yeah.
You're
because
both two
like
for two.
the acting and the general sort of facial expressions was very porn-like.
I know.
But when you listen to it, like, yeah, just listening to it, it's kind of hard to tell, honestly. It was a tricky one. You did spice it up.
I'm trying. I try. All right, here's the next clip. Aien, this is for you.
Nothing's going to happen to you as long as you don't panic.
Panic? Why would I panic?
Our magic is very powerful. We will not let the power of spring be denied.
What about Kate?
Kate'll be fine. Come on, you need your rest. The rift opens at midnight.
Of course. It's always at midnight. Doesn't anything ever happen in the middle of the day with you people?
What's so scary about the middle of the day?
Okay, so he's obviously talking to a sorcerer or sorceress of some sort.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. The acting is so bad. Okay, this has to be a shitty movie because there isn't nearly enough sort of... Okay, the kind of person who would write some kind of movie with such shitty acting would ham-fist this, like, the sex part, like the over-sexualization so much that it would be, like, impossible to not tell that this is a porn. This has to be a shitty movie.
Okay.
Or it's very well-written porn.
Shitty movie. Chris, do you want to, for fun, do you want to say what you think it is before we reveal?
I don't know. To me, like, the editing's, like, so off. Like, he'll say one line, and then, like, immediately the other line comes in. So, like, the editing is fucking horrible. And, like, this sounds like a porno to me. So, I don't know about shitty movie, but it sounds like a porno. It sounds like a very bad, like, porno where they're just going to green screen, like, I don't know, some, like, big titty fairies or something in the scene or something.
Okay, I'm going to play the video, and I think the video might give this one away.
Nothing's going to happen to you as long as you don't panic.
Panic? Why would I panic?
Our magic is very powerful. We will not let the power of spring be denied.
This dubbing here makes the room look like friggin' Oscar-worthy.
Come on, you need your rest. The rift opens at midnight.
Of course. It's always at midnight. Doesn't anything ever happen in the middle of the day with you people?
What's so scary about the middle of the day?
Okay, so that actress was Rebecca Love, and this is from a porn.
Holy shit!
So we got our first wrong answer, unfortunately.
Hey, settle down, okay? It was just one time. I don't want to.
Oh man! So we're up to our 6th clip, and Chris, this one's yours. This is your chance to take the lead in this game, and so. Let's get the clip loaded for porn or shitty movie.
Are you sure this is okay? I just don't think I can face going home tonight.
I'm sure Ryan won't mind.
Ryan won't mind what?
Michelle needs a place to stay tonight. Is it okay if she camps out in the spare room?
Of course. You know you're always welcome here, Michelle. I'll just be upstairs.
No, you should stay. It's your house.
All right. So we've got our storyline set up.
Yeah. There's a slight musical budget there, so I heard a little bit of something in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't really sound it doesn't sound too porno-y, to be honest. So
okay.
I'm gonna go with shitty movie.
Chris is going with shitty movie. Aien, you want to guess for fun?
I mean, the setup is pretty good for porn. Like, there's multiple people involved, multiple locations. It's a good setup. If it is a porn, I think I would go with porn on this one. Although, to be fair, again, I don't watch a lot of porn, so I'm very bad at guessing this.
Yeah, we don't either. Yeah,
I know that.
Yeah.
I just know the cliche. That's it.
This was all for research purposes. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's do the reveal. And it's a Hallmark movie. So yes, Chris, you're right. From a shitty movie. Caputo's taking the lead, man. I wasn't expecting that.
Movies. Oh, look, there's a Chris Evans lookalike.
I know, right?
Of course.
You're not Captain America, sir. It's weird. He has the beard of Chris Evans and like the hair, like the short hair of Chris Hemsworth. So he's trying to be like the Chris's. It's like, what the fuck?
All right, Aien,
he's the ultimate Chris.
Yeah. Oh no, wait, that's me.
Oh no! Oh my god! I forgot we have a Chris in this room. Holy shit! I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
Okay, listen. I have a lot of friends named Chris, so I'm not. I don't have like any prejudices or anything.
No.
It's good. It's okay. Sorry.
All right, Aien, you can still take the lead here because if you get this one right and then Chris gets the next one wrong, you could tie then. So. Here is the next porn or shitty movie.
Nothing like a good cup of joe to get your morning started off right.
Ain't he just the best?
You know what's best? My wife's cooking.
My new mama's the same age as me. Aren't I lucky?
Oh, honey.
All right. My new mama
is accent.
You're going shitty movie. Right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's fairly. It seems fairly PG. Like my wife is involved in this, and like my wife. It's either a shitty movie or it's like a setup for a threesome, and I don't know. It seems a little bit played too straight for porn.
Stepmom porn is a big thing right now. Chris, what do you think?
I'm going porno. The accents, the voices are very like hand-fisty.
Okay.
That's like throwing me off because I just heard that like dude with like really shitty like Texan sort of Southern accent. I was like, I could do that better.
Well, we're gonna hit play and we're gonna find out is this from a porn or a shitty movie.
Nothing like a good cup of joe to get your morning started off right.
And the answer is this is from a shitty movie. Actually.
Oh!
Wow!
Holy shit!
Aren't I lucky?
Oh, honey.
I mean, it does look very porn-esque.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's one camera.
Yeah,
that
but
was like
is like the Texan farmer like a genre? Like I mean, obviously it is, but big enough that Dustin over here would have like a clip of it somewhere.
It did take me a couple of hours to do this research because even when it's a shitty movie, I had to pick a clip that would kind of sound a little porny.
Yeah, of course.
To do this. All right, Chris, this is the last one. Okay.
All right.
If you get this right, you win the game. If you get it wrong, you both tie and therefore have equal porno knowledge.
All right.
But
that's not true.
Equal knowledge of porn and shitty movies. Okay.
Yeah, right. All right, so Chris, here we go. The last clip. This is from a porn or shitty movie.
Can I help you, miss?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I was just exploring the grounds. I'm thinking about coming here for a massage and facial.
Really?
Yeah.
Great. You do know that you're beeping, don't you?
Oh, that's my pager.
Someone really needs to get a hold of you, huh?
Yeah, it's my dog sitter.
Okay, that's the clip.
Oh God,
Ooh,
I was like,
that was hard.
This is a tough one because the massage and facial line, I'm like, oh, porno, but I don't know for sure now. So I'm like, there's actual sound editing here, at least minimal at best, but still.
I think we've used all of these sound effects for free off of the internet before, so
probably royalty-free pot smash. Oh fuck! God damn.
Use your knowledge of porn, Chris.
Oh man, so I'm just thinking like listen to the audio, like the quality of the acting sounds pretty equal, whether it's porno or something really shitty.
Well, in all fairness, the quality of the acting, I feel, on all of these clips have been on par with one another.
It's pretty equal. Some are a little more like obvious.
No, come on. Like the one on that shore, the I guess it was a porn, right? Yeah.
With the witch?
Yeah, with the witch, I guess. Oh, it's something about spring. Like, oh, it's too bad to like it's too nice to like I don't know. Something about spring. What did she say about spring? I forget.
The porno closed at midnight or some shit.
Yeah, the pool. Exactly. That was the worst by far. Like the editing, the terrible, very stilted acting.
Can you play the clip for me one more time?
It takes a cake.
Oh, you want to hear the clip again? Okay, I have to charge it up because I've got the answer already loaded. So let me go.
You got it. It's too hard.
Okay.
No, this is tough.
Fair.
I just need one more listen.
As long as Aien agrees that you get one more listen, then I think that's fair. So here we go. Let's listen.
When it was up to me, I could have said no. Oh my god.
Can I help you, miss?
Stinger at the beginning is throwing me off too.
Yeah, I was just exploring the grounds. I'm thinking about coming here for a massage and facial.
Really?
Yeah.
Great. You do know that you're beeping, don't you?
Oh, that's my pager.
Someone really needs to get a hold of you, huh?
Yeah, it's my dog sitter.
See, now I've concocted this thing where she's like escaped out of prison. Now she's gonna go get banged in a massage parlor or something. So I'm gonna go porno.
You going porn?
Yeah,
Aien, you want to
I have to go porn.
I legitimately don't know. I have no clue whatsoever. It could
Risk
be
it all.
either.
All right. Well, here we go. This is the answer. And I don't even know if the video is going to get. The video will probably give this one away.
Can I help you, miss?
Oh,
Oh my god.
It's the same chick from the last video. So definitely, this is a porn.
Oh my fuck.
So your winner, ladies and gentlemen, of porn,
Women
a
all do
shitty
things.
movie, is Chris Caputo.
These porn clips so fucking ugly. Seriously,
Oh
they're
yeah.
so unattractive.
244p.
Well,
come on.
I
I
have
mean,
to.
they take the most attractive possible women, and they take the least attractive guys. I mean, come on.
You have to get what you can get. I don't know. You'd think guys would be a dime a dozen in porn. Like any guy would just about, especially if he's on a losing streak, would just about take this gig. I would think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but on the other hand, like guys have a lot more opportunities in terms of career paths than women have. I mean, it depends on like the part of the country, I guess, but or like the living environment. But yeah, I think the overall sort of situation for men is I guess more favorable. I guess men are less likely to go into porn because they have just better career options overall than women, I guess.
I don't know, man, because I'd do it for the right price.
Really?
I'd have that go away porn where it's like the porn won't stop until you pay the video for the until you pay the fee to make the video stop. that would be my method.
But you'd have to, yeah, you'd have to like say yes to a lot of I guess different sex acts that you probably not usually do in like regular life, I guess.
Stunt cop.
Just for the money. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to like do a lot of like kinky shit or like just any sort of positions or
you hire a stunt
whatever. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could do that just because of that. I'm very particular about what I'd want to do, and that would force me into such a small niche that like I would not get any money out of that. Like, no.
I think that would be funny. You see my face, and then when it shows my body, he's like ripped and chiseled and probably Brazilian or something.
Oh, it's like that Simpsons episode, right? Where Homer goes to Hollywood. You know, he takes part in that superhero movie, and in the end, the cut of the movie is like half him being super buff because he had like a personal trainer during the shoot, part of the shoot, but the trainer left midway. So like part of the shots are Homer just being his fat old self, and him being like super buff. Yeah, that's exactly how it would be. But I mean, honestly, like injecting some humor into porn doesn't sound like such a bad idea, right?
I mean, they do those parody porns, and I mean that one was about
exactly
the one that we all laughed at about the portal opening with the witch. That's about a guy that has to fuck the devil to save the world. So
holy shit, yeah. Really?
I mean, sometimes they can have a superhero.
It had a fantasy element. Yeah.
Who doesn't fantasize about sleeping with Satan to save mankind from a portal? I know my friend Dwayne that we've had on the show. He's had his run-ins with the devil on the telephone of all things. So, you know,
I don't know. For most media depictions, I don't think Satan is my type. Either in like a man's form or in a woman's form. Either way,
I don't know.
He or she wouldn't be my type, honestly.
That movie Bedazzled. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that.
Never
heard of listen, I don't watch a lot of movies or series, so my media knowledge, my pop culture knowledge is very limited when it comes to that.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you, man. There's no shame in not coming out ahead in a game called Porn or Shitty Movie. So I think
really?
I don't think your fans are going to think any less of you today for what happened in the game. I kind of expected you to win, to be honest with you, man. I mean, you know, going first gives you kind of an advantage there. Yeah.
Wait, Wait, what was the score? I thought I won.
No, Chris won 4-3.
Oh, I got a perfect.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh yeah.
You only missed one.
mean,
and it was
listen. I don't. First of all, I don't watch straight porn, and second of all, I don't watch porn that much anyway. So.
Right. Like I said, neither do we. Yeah. Neither do we. So it made it difficult to find porn clips because you just don't know where to look on the internet. There's so little porn on the internet that that it's kind of hard.
Okay, if you go on Twitter, you can find all the porn there, and that's
Wait a minute. Did your mom install like the blocker on your PC so it makes it super hard to like get it? You only have access to one site, and that one site has like 10 videos.
Yeah, ChristianMingle.com.
Yeah,
that's the Christian only Mingle. Oh my god!
And you used to have access to Flash games.
I can't believe I actually know what that is.
Christian Mingle, Mormon Match. I can get on
Jade
that.
8.
Mormon Match. Yeah, that's.
Wait, isn't there like that MAGA dating service? What do you call it? Not dating service, like dating sites.
Oh my god! I didn't know about it.
For Business Insider, Trump supporters have their own dating websites now. Trump dating and Trump singles. Okay, neither site is up at the moment, so apparently they didn't pay their fees properly.
Yeah, just like Parler.
Oh man, that would be great, wouldn't it? If we did a bit.
The articles are from 2018. There's The Right Stuff, right? There's that. I think it's an app. Yeah, it's an app. It's called The Right Stuff.
What a great
it's
bit
conservative only.
If we catfish somebody on one of those, and then we come on and we get to interview them, and we tell them something like, "What do you think about when Trump said this?" But we're actually quoting Hitler.
God, this is good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking right now at the homepage for The Right Stuff. It's just a bunch of white people, honestly.
Oh wow,
not even that
think?
Yeah. Wow.
That's I am much less surprised by it's just a bunch of white people than I am by the fact that they have their own dating site.
Yeah, it's real. It's real, and the site isn't half bad. Like the design is pretty decent.
I tell you, man, for somebody, I'm surprised like a MAGA site isn't like when you go to Angel Fire in the 90s and see those.
Oh, and it's just like fucking blurring pop-up ads with like flashing
and
colors and shit.
Yeah, those flashing
Comic Sans font. I see Comic Sans. I just want to throw up now.
We should set up a website. That should be what our website looks like, an old Angel Fire account.
I think
do you actually have a website?
Yeah, gunsandradio.com.
Yeah, it just redirects to like a link tree.
Yeah, because we had
right.
We had a functioning website at one time, and then nobody ever read our articles or used it. So we just made it into a link tree, and then the traffic went way up, and people engage with it a lot more now. So I think the era of the old-fashioned website is pretty much
WordPress and your blog stuff. Yeah,
I think that era is dead.
Yeah, I actually made my own site recently.
Which is
I've had it for a while.
Aienmusic.com.
It's Aienofficial.com.
Okay.
Like I initially had it in WordPress, but I made it from scratch. Like it's all like HTML and shit. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it.
You can go check that out, and you can get. I know you get links to your Bandcamp on there.
Yeah, exactly.
So go
Spotify,
like
SoundCloud.
some info. Yeah, and like info about me, my discography, etc. Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you, if Guns N' Roses won't release new music, this guy will, and it's arguably just as good, if not better.
Slowly. I haven't released anything new in like 3 years. But,
well, some of your work is not even a direct cover. I would say your Shackler's Revenge is pretty close to being an original song.
Yeah, I mean, I turned it into the new metal song, and it's truly deserved to be. I mean, I was in that phase, right? So it also fit nicely. I listened to a lot of Korn at the time, so it really came perfectly. But yeah, I'm still quite proud of the changes I made to it. But
we'll be on the lookout for your Limp Bizkit cover.
Yeah, none in this lifetime. But I said the thing. I said the thing. Yes,
the thing. Yeah.
See the line. That's just reference.
Oh, well, folks. With that, it's time for us to go into our. Speaking of crappy music, it's time for our Duff McKagan review of Ridin' Home. Okay, I say crappy. We might be surprised.
We shall see.
Let's hope we're pleasantly surprised.
I already pre-listened, so I have a slightly pre-baked opinion. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's fair. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, fast paced. All right, I like the riff.
Yeah, we're off to a good start, actually. So
this guy sounds like Izzy Stradlin stuff.
I know, right? It does, doesn't it?
Like the last batch of Izzy stuff we've been releasing. Reviewing. It's kind of very similar to this.
Yeah, I wonder if Izzy had something to do with this.
Maybe.
I don't see how you say all the things you say.
We're never going to get away from stupid Duff McKagan. I
love that punk voice, though. He sounds like a true, classic punk hero.
I believe that, I can't do a song without taking it like that.
It's like he heard Down on the Farm once. He says, "This." That's my
voice.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's like he's, as I said, he sounds like a classic punk rocker, and he's really pulling it off quite well, I think.
I'm gonna refrain.
Not my cup of tea.
I'm going to refrain from doing the what do we call it? Dunce Cap Duff, the new character.
Stupid Duff, yeah.
Yeah, Dunce Cap, Stupid Duff McKagan. I'm going to refrain from doing that character while we listen to this today because I feel like we've really ran that joke in the ground for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So let's just hit play and let's just try to get through this. It sounds like some of those Slash and Miles Kennedy songs too, kind of.
A little bit too, yeah.
Don't tarnish.
Instrumentally wise.
SMKC is like leagues beyond this. This is like pretty box standard punk rock, maybe hard rock.
If I can think of the name of, it's reminding me of one song in particular. I think maybe Driving Rain. But
a little bit. That was a little more slower pace than this.
Okay. To be fair, I haven't heard anything like after World on Fire, or not much, I guess, because it got kind of stale, honestly. But the first Slash album, all the way to World on Fire, it's really good stuff. I mean, come on, you can't put them in the same league.
I agree. Well, let's see here. Let's keep play. Okay, Duff, if you're going to do your own backing vocals, at least use a different voice than your Cockney accent.
Yeah. Seriously.
We can tell. It's like when I try to pretend to be an announcer to open a show and I just modulate my voice so it sounds deeper, but you can tell it's me.
Mm-hmm.
I was rather
drunk recording this.
Probably.
No, man, his nose is stuffed. He has a cold. It happens to the best of us, right?
Yeah. Got caught in that Seattle rain.
Seriously, his nose sounds like it's filled up to the fucking brim. Yeah, not my cup of tea, but very, very punk. Very punk.
Well, we're gonna play a little more, and then I'm gonna get Chris to read some lyrics so we can really go hard in judging this thing. right, so I feel like there's a guitar solo coming up, so we're going to hit pause.
Yeah, let's hit pause right there.
All right, Chris, give us some lyrics. Let's see if we can come up with what this story is about, and hopefully it's not just a hooker again like it always is when we do this.
Okay. I don't see how you say all the things you say. You can't tell me how to live another day. Maybe I'll pack it up, leave a note that says, sometimes you gotta lighten up. And I don't know if this next one is actually part of the song. Legal rights inside your head, which doesn't make fucking sense with the other line he just said. I don't know.
Legal rights inside you. Yeah, see, I was thinking about copywriting this song, and then I was like, nah, it looks like too much work. So I figured if I go to court and just say, yeah, I got all the rights to the song in my head, then it would get past the jury.
If that don't work, you'll see. You must not blame it on me, because I'll be gone that day.
Yeah, because I didn't hire a lawyer. So
I'm riding home again. There's a time when you were my best friend. Together we could do just about everything. Maybe I've been wrong. If not, I've got nothing to say. Said you fought so long, I've got to get away. I've got to get away.
Okay. So Duff's heartbroken over a woman again.
It's very punk rock. He's like,
that's not a hooker, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. So I think one thing we've noticed is Duff writes a lot of songs about being heartbroken by women. Is Duff McKagan the Taylor Swift of GNR?
Oh, absolutely. He is. I think we mentioned this like a year or two ago.
Maybe.
I made the concoction. I made the sort of correlation.
Maybe that's where it kind of stuck in my head.
Yeah, I think so. Like,
that's
Man,
a good
I'm having
observation.
real trouble to find the lyrics, finding the lyrics somewhere online.
Yeah, I literally found them in a description of a YouTube video.
Yeah. Chris is the master of lyric hunting. So
yeah.
if Chris can't find it, it's not out there, which we find with rapid fire songs when those come up.
I think one or two we found, not all of them. Like even I think Adler songs we had like trouble finding a couple. Even
those are hard too. And the occasional Izzy song has been hard to find lyrics to. So do you have any more? Do you want to continue or should
no, that's pretty much we're at the point now. Let's get to this guitar solo.
All right, let's listen to this.
Yeah.
A little breakdown beforehand. A little solo after.
I still say this sounds like when you get that free music off a YouTube library.
For sure.
Folks, I didn't want to tell you on air because I didn't want to spoil the surprise, but this is actually Aien's next cover song that's coming out.
Yeah, I couldn't resist. Too good.
I can't wait to hear your shitty Cogni voice. This is going to be great.
Ooh, boy.
I was so scared.
Those backing vocals are just throwing me off. They're taking me out of it because it's like obviously Duff.
Yeah,
and he
they're
doesn't
just so bad.
He doesn't even change his voice at all. Is he saying I've become that dick?
No. Wait, what does it say? As long as I'll be gone that day. If you want to moan that can't be right. If you want to moan the time, I'm gonna be hauled up. Okay, the description lyrics are a little bit off on this this particular YouTube video.
Is that the same one you're looking at, Chris?
The right before the final chorus, if you want to moan the time.
You want to mow the time? Yeah, we were having sex, Susan and I, and it was 11:30. And she's like, "Come on, Duff, it's 11:30. Can you?"
Oh my God! Could you imagine the Genius verified segment on that? Like getting Duff to sit down and explain this song in front of like millions of people on YouTube. That'd be perfect.
Susan and I, we were having sex, and she was like, "Oh God, will you hurry up? It's like 11 o'clock." And I was like, "Why you gotta moan the time at me? I didn't enjoy it." I thought she was having a good time. Turns out she was bored. She's like, "Will you get off me? I'm trying to play my PlayStation."
I'm trying to play Final Fantasy VII.
Wow, your Duff voice is really good, man. Holy shit. That's a good impression.
We'll have to make an original Duff song, you and I, sometime. That'll be fun.
Again, your crazy hijinks involve me in some way. I swear to God, someday you're gonna get me to like rob a bank with you, and it's gonna be like, it's gonna be really funny. You know, you want to do this with me, and I'm gonna be like, sure, fine, fuck it, we'll do it.
I don't know, man.
I've been saying no to all your previous ideas involving fraud, burglary. But now that you want to do a bank heist, I feel like I owe you one after rejecting you so many times.
I don't know. You see, you're wrong because a bank heist would actually
stay in tune for the Dustin and Aien bank heist coming to you next year.
That would end with us having money.
Yeah, maybe a good audio drama out of it.
Yeah,
that would
for
be
sure.
a good audio drama,
and we would make headlines.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
I'm riding home again. I'm riding home again.
I feel like this is going to be the whole song now.
Yeah, it's pretty much the end of it. Or it'll fade out.
Yeah. I don't know. This sounds interesting.
I'm riding home again.
I was wrong.
Tricked again.
Because I don't have a driver's license. So you have to drive. You have to pick me up. Yeah, we're not listening again. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Riding Home by Duff McKagan. It's in the rear view for us as we're riding home to end this episode. So
yeah, thank God, honestly.
It's now time for final thoughts. Aien, you're our guest, so we'll let you go first.
All right. As a seasoned musicologist, I would like to state for the record that this song was written in the Mixolydian scale and using a vast array of pentatonics, which obviously elevates the quality of the song. No, okay, it's just it's like a pretty bog standard punk song, honestly. Something I would expect from. Okay, I'm not big on punk, but I feel like this would be like very Misfits-like. I don't know. It's not my type of deal. The only punk I listened to is like mid-2000s Green Day, because they did like the whole rock opera shtick, which I enjoyed a lot. But yeah, it's not my cup of tea, and it's very forgettable. I don't think anybody really thinks back to Riding Home and says, "Oh man, this was my summer jam for sure." Yeah, I give it like it's like a 3 out of 10. I have pretty high standards when it comes to this.
Oh, so out of 5, that's like a 1.
It's like a 1.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah,
3 out of 10, 1 out of 5. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Chris, how you want to do? You want me to go next, or do you want?
I'll go next.
All right.
Yeah. Like, it is very much like, a standard sort of punk rock song, but like, to be honest, this is the most punk rock Duff has sounded on this podcast since, besides when he's not covering a fucking Misfits song at every GNR show. This is the most punk rock thing I've ever heard of him, and it's not bad. It's a standard. Yeah, it does remind me of fucking Basket Case by Green Day, like heavily.
Ah, yes.
Dude,
okay.
So much. Like that, like sort of like 90s sort of punk, even a little bit like early 2000s too. Like you could hear this on like, those like emo music stations. You could like hear that randomly thrown in here. Like in between, like, you know, My Chemical Romance and like the Used. Oh, here's just one Duff McKagan song.
Yeah, I
It's
like
the
My
most punk
Chemical
rock he's ever been.
Romance a lot more than this.
Yeah, a lot more. It's not terrible though. I mean, like, shitty backing vocals and like questionable lyrics aside, I mean, it's okay. It's something I could maybe listen to again. Just be like, oh yeah, this totally happened, or like, you know, remember when Duff McKagan was punk rock for like 3.5 minutes? The most punk rock he's ever been in his life since the 70s.
And now he's a vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing more punk rock than veganism.
Yeah, and being a vegan.
I mean, actually, unironically, yeah, a lot of punks are actually unironically vegan. Yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah, for me, it's middle of the road, so I'm gonna go 2.5 on this song because I did kind of enjoy it at times. So,
okay, I'm in a similar boat as Chris. I didn't hate it, which I mean is saying something for a Duff McKagan song. I didn't absolutely hate it. I mean, I'll never listen to this again. I've already deleted it off of my machine, so it's not going to go into my vault for things for me to listen to later. But it's kind of hard because, like I said, I can't forgive those background vocals because they just kept distracting me and pulling me out of it. So I can't quite go 2.5. But for the instrumentation, I was kind of like, okay, I can get behind this. This is some good stock music from YouTube Library.
High compliment. Coming right through.
Highbrow as fuck right there.
I can see myself using this instrumental for a vlog or something like that. Yeah, so for that, I'm going to have to give it a solid. That seems a little generous. I'm going to give it 1.75. Okay. Not quite a 2.
Jesus, the precision.
Yeah, I can't quite give it a 2 because that puts it like almost in the mid tier. And
yeah,
it's not mid tier. It's definitely lower tier.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way. And I mean, Duff can't enunciate for shit, really. Like
I know you can't understand half.
Slurring his words all over the place. He sounds like he's on some drugs, you know, all the time while he's singing this.
This could be the tail end of the alcoholic Duff days.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah,
it might as well be.
Still had a pancreas.
Literally.
But there you go. What did you think? Why don't you head over to gunsandradio.com to get your free invite to our Discord and leave your thoughts on this song for us. Tell us your opinion. And yeah, just join the conversation. But with that, fellas, what say you? Shall we spin the wheel and find out what song we'll be reviewing next week on the Guns and Radio podcast?
Yeah, let's spin that wheel, brother. Hopefully, I pray to God it is not another Loaded song.
I know we've gotten so many. The wheel's been stuck on Duff.
Do some Izzy, man. I'm down for
some. I'm about to invoke Murphy's Law on your asses.
Oh no!
To be another Loaded song.
Ah.
You want to wager some of your porn or amateur film
give me
points?
Rapid Fire 4. Let's do it.
Yes, it's coming. It's coming. I can feel it.
Here we go.
Box, Izzy Stradlin.
Thank God.
All right, Izzy Stradlin with a song inspired by that one scene in 7 where they ask what's in the box.
What's in the fucking box?
That's gonna be the cover art for next week then.
Yeah.
There should be a
with
box
Izzy's
and
head.
Izzy Stradlin looking into it.
Yeah, we'll put
man,
Izzy's head in the box.
I haven't listened to any Izzy stuff at all. Is it any good?
Some of it's all right. Some of it can be like lyrically very fucking repetitive and boring. Like, I feel like he's like very inspired by like very older kind of rock, where it's a lot of you know, 4/4/4, sort of like that, those old riffs kind of.
Yeah,
it's hard to describe some of this stuff because then I think like he randomly later on in his solo career started doing like reggae instrumentals, started doing like reggae influenced stuff, which is just like so weird. I'm like,
when he had
dreadlocks once in '93.
Now he's all about. Now he's the next Bob Marley. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out though. Some Izzy is. I think we've said it a million times on the show. We have blown that myth that Izzy Stradlin is the difference maker in GNR right the fuck out of the water.
No, because GNR was every member. I think it was 2020 whatever by 5.
Slash does fine on his own.
Mhm.
Axel does okay on his own.
Yeah.
Duff and Izzy and Steven do not do very well on their own. They're very mixed bags. So I don't know. That's one of the things we've learned in this Guns and Radio experiment, that nobody can ever say that to at least us or our listeners again, and us take them seriously. But with that, hey, Aien, thanks for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Why don't I let me do this? Let me do this. 1 second here. Let me get let's bring this back, because we always forget to do this at the end of the show. And then we get our little
outro going. All right.
Little calm, serene.
Yeah.
Oh, that's back on Friday, and be sure to come back on Saturday for another episode of Shotcast Saturday.
Music video Friday, Shotcast Saturday. The Sounds of Summer keeps rolling on too. We're gonna see you guys next Monday as well. Back to some Izzy reviewing, so it's good. We may have another month of Izzy on our hands. Who knows?
Oh, maybe.
I think we're close to one this year, actually. So
yeah, at least we're off of this Duff McKagan run we've been on involuntarily.
Yeah.
And we also want to thank Anastasia Elliot for coming on. We hope you guys check out her music as well, and check out Aien's music. There's a lot of stuff you got to check out, guys. So we're gonna let you go so you can get on that, and we'll see you next time on the Guns and Radio podcast.
Peace.